Is it possible that the dynamic that you two had was just toxic and it brought out the worst in both of you?
That's possible, yeah. Yeah.
Like, do you
Possible.
like
By the way, if I say anything that's wrong, correct me immediately, please. All right? Because, again, my whole thing is I want to try and get as much information accurate as possible, right? And thank you to all the people that were correcting me on that last one. That's the most important thing, is to try and get all the information as accurate as possible.
Acted with him?
No, because I feel really bad that, I mean, I look at all the messages I sent and I'm like, oh, Jesus, fuck. I look like a fucking crazy person. This is great. This is just great.
Avalio? No, I didn't. Who did Sonzal debate? I think I'm done looking at Tanky's debate. I think I'm done watching them. I don't want to give them, and they're all clout-chasing, grifting fucks. I'm done giving them any kind of platform. I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah.
Like, do you like how you acted with him?
No, because I feel really bad that, I mean, I look at all the messages I sent and I'm like, oh, Jesus, fuck. I look like a fucking crazy person. This is great. This is just great.
This is progress. This is what we call progress.
You know, because, when I was panicking and stuff, and I'm just like, fuck, I wish I handled it well. I wish I handled it better, I mean.
We're making progress.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm sure he probably looks back at some of the decisions he made and thought, holy shit, I wish I would have handled certain things better.
Wait, okay, so then now I can actually run with a bridge here. You can actually run with a bridge here. So then do you think that the people that are calling you crazy based on what they're seeing, because according to her, she said, wow, I really look crazy here, then do you think that the people that are looking at this information and the information that's actually accessible, none of this third-hand nonsense or whatever, the actual, DMs and shit like that are available, do you think them calling you crazy is, unreasonable? I think that that's, a natural question off of that, or what have you. Obviously.
I'm sure he does. I'm 100% sure he does.
Maybe.
The thing is that...
But it's I don't know how are you supposed to, how are you supposed to, learn from that when it's, I've never experienced that before. I don't know, I've never experienced, having things leaked to the public. It's just so terrifying.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. It's everyone's nightmare. Right, that is something that my heart goes out to. I totally understand, right?
Yeah.
So, and I respect your commitment to, the thing about the DMs, okay? But, I think that you can be so absorbed in, your own suffering, right? Not that suffering is invalid, that you disregard, the cause, how you can be also the cause of suffering for other people.
But, I always care about that, and I always ask people to tell me.
But he did tell you. You didn't listen.
He never told me his feelings.
He
would never talk about his feelings. And it's so annoying, and it's so frustrating. I just wanted to hear what his feelings were and stuff, but... Oh my god.
Okay, but lots of people don't know how to talk about their feelings, right? What was important that he told you was he told you, right, what not to do, okay? And he said, do not talk about him, do not talk to him, right? And
yeah, I
stop
mean,
messaging
why
him,
won't
and
he
he
stop
blocked
talking
you.
about me then? And calling me, a stalker and, trying to ruin, my, trying to discredit me and stuff. Why won't he do that?
Because apparently, I mean, according to you, right, literally, all you do is sit there and tweet about him. That's literally according to her. She just sits there and she tweets about him. So, yeah, obviously.
I know that he wants that. He wants to stop completely, right? He just wants, it completely erased and you to both completely move on. He doesn't want, I'm sure he doesn't want any shitty things to happen to you.
But all the damage he's done now, it's how I have to keep talking about it so that I can correct the record, though.
But
true.
Nick, what about all the damage that has been done to him too?
That's damage?
What I mean. I'm asking. You said that you're an empathetic person. I'm asking you to be empathetic towards him and his experience.
He's done horrible things to so many people. That's on him. That has a terrible reputation.
so you can't feel any kind of empathy about what.
Of course I can.
Dude, I can't stand these claims sliding. I can't stand it. I just be like, okay, can you give me some examples? Because I remember she caters to this nebulous idea of like, was it the trail of, what was the thing? The trail of destruction. What was the meme? Was it the trail of victims? Was it the trail? Well, I know the trail of tears is the real shit, but did she call it that? Was that the meme? The trail of victims and destruction. Yeah. Like the trail of victims and destruction. Like where?
Like,
of course I can.
How it feels to get,
Source?
to be with someone in an intimate way, right? Okay, and then they kind of freak you out, so you pull back, which you have every right to do, right? Okay, you pull back, you block
that's
them.
abuse.
No,
it's stonewalling.
No.
Emotional withholding is abusive. Emotional withholding is abusive.
Okay, you are not entitled to anyone's emotions, Anna.
Okay, and nobody is entitled to be abusive. Like, I don't.
When I say hi to the random guy on the bus, and he doesn't say hi back, he's being abusive. I'm gonna write a Twitter thread about it. He's being really abusive. I know I'm not entitled to a hi back, but it's really abusive, so I'm gonna write a Twitter thread about it. But, yeah. God help me. I may not be entitled to it, but...
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Nice meme. I'll be damned, all right? Damned to hell if I'm not going to act entitled to it, okay? That's just God's honest.
Understand.
It's not... You are misunderstanding like, all those papers and stuff, you're misunderstanding, like, the context in which they get applied.
No, I'm not. I've talked to therapists. Please don't gaslight me on this. Like, I understand perfectly well that when you're emotionally close with someone, it's not okay to give the silent treatment or stonewall.
Okay, I just want to be clear that me disagreeing with you is not gaslighting, right?
I mean, you're trying to convince me that I'm misunderstanding. I'm not misunderstanding.
Well, I'm trying to convince you. I've made a claim. I'm trying to convince you of that claim. It's an argument.
That's what I mean, dude. Yeah, 08. 2020, dude. It was a minute ago.
All right.
So it's not gaslighting, right? I'm not trying to convince you that something doesn't I'm not trying to
Finkelborn. I'm gonna stay consistent on it. Let's dial it back.
I mean, I'm not misunderstanding the context of these.
And it's considered a very toxic and abusive behavior to regularly invoke psychological terms, right, to kind of justify that abuse. Like, it's actually a known thing, especially as like that stuff has become more knowledgeable and spread around, where people use terms like gaslighting and abuse and all of those kinds of things.
Well, I should say it feels like gaslighting for sure.
Okay.
Trying to tell me that like I'm misunderstanding, like, because I know what reality is. Like, I'm not misunderstanding.
God, that's
I
cringe.
actually think like
That's
the
cringe.
reality is like, and sometimes I think we exist in like some different reality.
Yeah.
I know what she's getting at here, and this is really tough to do.
I know what Eris is pretty much just talking about the way that people perceive what reality is, because reality relative to a person is their perception, right? The way that people perceive reality is going to be pretty different depending on like the person, and that could be radically different depending on the person, depending on what they got going on up top. It could be pretty radically different between people, and then so the way that she perceives it could just be pretty radically different than the way that like most people would see it, right? Which I imagine is probably the case. So yeah. It just becomes difficult when she's loading it as like reality. I know reality. It's like, that's not really how humans work.
It's like the doc that you're making, right? Which I told you point blank, you should not make, in my opinion. But I
don't know what reality is.
Stop.
You don't have to listen to me. But I'll describe it to those who are watching. It has like evidence. So you put like screenshots. It's very well written. I'll just say that. It has like evidence, i.e. like screenshots, and then your commentaries below it. But and there was tons of evidence, right? The problem is that like the commentary never reflected the evidence accurately. So Because like when I expected to
Sorry,
read
I had to
it, like,
grab some water
literally
real quick.
expected to think, okay, this evidence is okay, that's an interesting screenshot, but it really just confirmed the things that Destiny had told his stream or had been open about and his perspective of things, right? And it didn't really prove your claims like at all. And that's what.
No, what do you mean? I
makes me
got
think-
water.
How?
I got water, chat. I got water. Stop being weird. I got water.
How?
I'll give you an example, right?
Like,
So-
he literally said in here, like, that, like, when he, you know, he's sorry, like, call me a stalker, like, he does it when he gets defensive and feels attacked, things like that. I mean, like, also, literally, me trying to tell
but that
him
doesn't-
that, like, it's not
but
okay
him
to
saying
hide,
that, right?
hide
But
this
the
from
issue-
Luna. Like, I literally was
But
hiding
Anna-
it, like, helping him hide this from
But
fucking
Anna, it doesn't
Melina.
actually help your case, right? It just makes it look like a victim's trying to satiate his abuser and to get her to chill out.
I mean, how, though?
That's
That
like-
doesn't,
that's the
that's not what it
impression,
looks like at
right?
all, though. That's really not.
Well, it does because he's regularly trying to calm you down. Like the dynamic is
how,
regularly
though?
trying to calm you down as you're being really intense. It
But
actually
that's
seems
not
like
what
he's
it
kind of
looks
freaked
like.
out.
But that's not at all what this looks like. At all. Like, it's mostly, like, a lot of this is me saying, like, how long, like, look, how long do we have to keep it secret that we're friendly? Is there a time frame? And I'm explaining how hurtful it is. That, like, he treats me dismissively on stream and lies about how we're, like, frequently talking and stuff.
But that doesn't help your case.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it shows that he's been lying about.
Oh, I mean, it shows that he was lying to people about how close you were, right? Okay, but like
Yeah.
it's a known thing that
So, I understand that this is relevant in this given context. Like, the closeness with an individual is relevant in the context of this whole conversation. So, him omitting the information about how close they actually were is definitely something that, like, is relevant to the public's perception of what was happening. I don't think it changes a damn thing, you know? I think they could have fucked 100 times and it wouldn't have changed it. I don't think it would have. Also, I mean, what is she proposing? That all streamers disclose the full context of their relationships and in these kinds of situations, or in general? Like, I don't know what the proposition is here. Right? Hey, listen, parasocial Andy's in. Hey, listen, guys. Hey, we're gonna get dick size of all these streamers, dude. Hey, fuck it, dude. Hey, listen, I want to know every time Destiny has sex with anybody, dude. I want to know, dude. I want to know time. I want to know date. I want to know, like, location, dude. Parasocial Andy's in. Sweet. Like, you know, what are our propositions here? What are we proposing? Right? What's the alternative? Right?
victims of abuse, right? Like are dishonest with the people that care about them about getting back together with an abuser.
Yeah, and that's what my friends experienced. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, is that, like, I think that your suffering is
Strange
obviously
one.
immense, okay? And I'm not down with it.
You're
okay?
good
But I
at
think you can be
memes,
so
man.
absorbed, like, in that suffering that you're ignoring, like, other people's suffering, right? And he shouldn't have to demonstrate and communicate, like, oh, like, I have my feelings hurt and all these things, because, you know, like,
But
that's
like,
just
why
not him.
is it that like, yeah, but why is it? I mean, I didn't get to include these like DMs of like these screenshot of the DMs, of course, but like, I would constantly be worrying about him like not wanting to be friends with me or something. Like, I would be constantly questioning my own reality, and like, wait, what if like what he's saying on stream is true? Like, you have no idea how stressful it was that I was constantly going back and forth with myself, being like, wait, what if he's just like, I don't know, like, what if he doesn't really want to be my friend or something? And like, and like, you
Wait,
know,
this is like
and
this
I
is
would
kind
be
of the
like-
first I'm hearing about this, like that you were being somewhat self-critical. I think that's a good thing.
no, that was me being gaslit, because I was like, wait, but he's constantly telling me that, like, you know, he wants to be my friend, he wants to talk everything, like, he likes it. And then I would be like, well, I mean, you know that if you don't want to be my friend, just tell me. Like, if you don't want to, just tell me. Like, it's fine. Like, and I would be constantly worrying, like, what if he doesn't really and stuff? And he would be like, no, I know, it's fine. Like, so, I mean, you know what, like...
Is it possible that he was afraid to say something that fully would just set you off?
I was about to say something kind of similar to what Eris is saying, and I hope Eris gets to it. Right? Her going, well, I don't really know, well, when he's definitively saying, which he has, definitively said, there's no contact going forward, right? Cue the Dan quote of, like, yeah, she's going to talk about you, like, very soon, and then betting his kids, and then, getting a W, all right? The kids are securely with Dan, all right? Stuff like this where they try and cut contact, or whatever, or they agree to cut contact, and then contact isn't cut, it's absolutely a situation where, you gotta look at it and just be like, hey, maybe this is just really done. But she's like going back and forth on it and trying to be like, oh no, maybe this. She just clearly wants to actually continuously have a relationship with him. And that's really fucking weird. Because if we agree with everything that she said, if we take her side on everything and think Steven's like a super abuser, why the fuck would you want to be in a relationship with a super abuser? Like, doesn't that say a little something about you right now? That you're, like, having debates on why you need to stay with your serial abuser? Like, come on.
No, because, like, what do you mean set me off? Like, what, just get upset at him? Just get upset at him? Like,
Yeah,
what
you don't think you have the ability to hurt him?
Trying to fix him, yeah.
Like,
I can tell you anyone that I've been intimate with, like in any kind of dynamic, whether it's sexual or platonic, has the ability to probably, like, ruin my career if they want to.
Of course, yeah.
Right? So, of course, like, there's, like, a level of, like, people always talk about, like, the control that a content creator has over the person who's not. In your case, you're both content creators, just different sizes. But, like, there is a level of control that, like, the person who's
also, that presents itself a uniquely strong position for Ana. Like Destiny was talking about, she doesn't really have much to lose, but she has a lot to gain, though. Like, from farming this to hell and back, potentially to get positions on Zerko's panels, or people like Zerko's panels, or to get attention in general, to get Bob 7 to, like, look at her shit, stuff like that, situations like that to develop. So there is a conflict of interest there, 100%. Did you see this Asker's Halloween version, which was turned on? No way, dude. No way, dude. That's really fucking cool, dude. That's really fucking cool, dude. That's fucking so
with the larger
cool.
content creator, right, actually has, right, because they have less to lose. Okay, and people are always trying to take that person down, so, like, they can easily get that person canceled in some kind of way. So it's a possible that, like, and I mean, I'm just totally guessing.
Yeah, but you're ignoring the other power dynamic. What about the other power dynamic?
I'm not denying that there's other power dynamics, right?
Like
I'm just saying that this is one that's not talked about a lot.
More vulnerable.
No, I agree. This is just one that's not talked about. So I think it's totally valid, like, that he could feel like, oh, like, she's kind of seeming a little unhinged right now, okay, or, like, unpredictable. I don't really know what's I'm freaking out, and I'm just gonna say what I need to kind of, like, satiate her, try to calm her down, because if I fully cut her off, the last time I cut her off, she just blew up, right? So maybe I've got to say, like, in some ways, okay, it feels like you kind of created this dynamic with him that what you want is an intimate, close relationship with him where you're both open and talking about your feelings with one another, okay? And if he doesn't
not
give
any
you
like
that,
committed relationship, of course.
Okay,
Like,
I'm not saying
maybe
it's
Dom.
committed, right?
Yeah, I've been clear with him about that.
Yeah, and
we
if
wouldn't
he
work
doesn't,
out.
Okay, but if he doesn't give you those things that you want, then you are going to punish him.
Wait, what?
An intimate, close relationship with him where you're both open and talking about your feelings with one another, okay? And if he doesn't
not
give
any
you
like
that,
committed relationship, of course.
okay,
Like,
I'm not saying exclusive committed, right?
Yeah, I've been
and
clear
if
with
he
him about
doesn't,
that.
yeah, and
We
if
wouldn't
he
work
doesn't,
out.
okay, and
Wait, what? Wait, that's where she draws the line? This person that I've gone off for the past, like, year and a half about being, like, a super abuser, and somebody that's super abusive and it's a long trail of victims and destruction.
I want to date him, but I don't want to be committed. That's where I draw the line. Like, what? What the fuck? That's where you draw the line? Okay. Like, that is weird.
But if he doesn't give you those things that you want, then you are going to punish him.
No, he's the one that's punishing
Just
me
wants
when
the
I
Pepe
try and
Ladine.
like.
Do you not see
talk to him
how...
about
What can I say?
conflict.
Okay.
Because he
But-
punishes me for being cold. And
I'm not saying our
that's what we don't
intention is to
want
punish,
do.
right? But the effect is that you've punished him, right? That whenever... So it kind of trains him over
Dr.
time, right?
Mudbone.
And I
I
hope
don't
like
think I
Destiny's
could.
watching. Like, I don't want him to think I'm belittling him or something. But it kind of trains any human over time. That, like, if... Whenever you communicate your feelings clearly and you set your boundaries and you get punished for it, right? Okay, like there's huge consequences that it's going to train you slowly over time to always satiate them, be
But
dishonest with them.
I set my boundaries with him. I always set my boundaries with him, and he was always crossing them. Like, I set my boundaries that, like, it's not okay to be ignored for days. That's not okay. And yes, I know, and that is a healthy boundary. Don't even tell me it's not a healthy boundary. It's absolutely a healthy boundary. Nobody has the right to be stonewalled or ignored.
That's not, like, you can't just set that without, like... So I'll say this. If Destiny agreed to it and then went back on it, I'd consider that not a good thing to do. Sure. Wouldn't necessarily call that abuse, though. I think that's pretty wild. But yeah, no, I don't think you're entitled to somebody's time like that. I don't think you can just do that. Like, why? Like, hey, I want you to message me back after a period of time. Cool, that's fine if they agree with it. But like, if they don't, then you're not entitled to it. Like, nowhere are you entitled that like you don't get, in the way that she's phrasing it, ignored. Like, what if you're just busy? Unironically, what if you're just busy? Like, is that not something that a streamer can be, is busy?
Absolutely not. No. And like, I set those boundaries with him, but he would still violate them constantly. So then I would be like, you know,
What if
This is what I meant earlier when I was talking about the dynamics that a lot of streamers might have with relationships. Where, like, there's people who are in relationships with streamers that talk about how shitty it is to be in those relationships because they get ignored. But you know what? They don't call it abusive. Because there's a reason they might be getting maybe ignored or not talked to as much. And let alone, they weren't actually in like a committed relationship or a relationship that would be not even like necessarily monogamous, but like committed is what I mean. Like in reference to like Melina. Like, right? If Destiny was ignoring Melina for like months, like then we could talk about, yeah, it's pretty fucking weird. But like, if the dude is streaming League for 12 hours a fucking day, you know, grinding, and then, you know, hangs out with Melina off stream, planning his fucking next Euro trip, whatever, right? Maybe he doesn't talk to you for 2 days. That's normal, especially for streamers. That's pretty fucking normal. He's got a life. He's got a fucking job, and a job that goes hours significantly over a 9 to 5. Maybe he's planning debates and shit like that, right? It's just, like, maybe you're just not a super high priority. It's okay. Breathe. It's fine.
his boundary is that he needs to take space when he needs it.
Yes, and I told him to tell me that.
Okay, well, what if his boundary? What if his
Yeah,
boundary
Turok,
is that
yeah.
he's communicating that when he doesn't reply?
It's
Wait,
not a
what?
boundary, but
What if his boundary is that, like, when he doesn't reply, you need to respect that and give him space?
okay, that
No,
could
because
be
that would
something
be
that could be considered one.
abuse, and that's not okay.
So his boundaries are abuse, but your boundaries are okay.
Because you can't use
Oof.
abuse as your boundaries, though. Like, how does that make sense?
But
to use
And then, dude, maybe I'm too much of a debate, bro, but this is where I could push back. Forcing somebody to engage or have a conversation with you when they would otherwise be busy or preoccupied with another task, otherwise they would be considered abusive, is abuse, right? Making somebody drop everything that they're doing so that way they spend time with you at like an allotted fucking every 24 hours you have to make a phone call or whatever you, otherwise it's abusive, is abuse. But just saying, hey, you know what? I think that, like, again, to bring it back to these streamer examples, right? These girlfriends and boyfriends of streamers can be like, yeah, you know what? I want to be in a relationship with you, and my conditions are every 24 hours, you know, we at least have a conversation. And if they go, oh, okay, you know what? I'm slipping. I'm not actually able to do that. Okay, listen, that's not abusive. It's just like you weren't able to do it. And they like move on, right? It's not abusive just because you don't make something happen that you want to have. That's not a boundary that's necessary for abuse, right? That's not how it works.
Forcing him to communicate when he doesn't want to.
That's not
right?
forcing to communicate. That's twisting a narrative. That's not what that is. It's not forcing anyone to communicate. It's just it's
that
like
is
literally Dr. Gottman even says like to tell someone that you need a break. Like just say like, hey, I need a break from talking or whatever. And then like make a time frame of
What if he's just busy? Like what if he's unironically just busy? Like, genuinely, has her mind not, like, allotted for that to be a thing? Dr. Gottman? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
You know, tell them a time frame. Because otherwise that causes
Dr.
people
Gotham?
distress if you don't, like, give at least a time frame of when you could come back to, like, the conversation and stuff or whatever.
Okay. There's a part in...
You want the article on Dr. Gottman saying this, by the way?
I believe you, right?
Okay.
There's a part in the document where you said, when backed in a corner publicly, he threw me under the bus and portrayed our dynamic like he had, quote unquote, no choice but to be friendly with me.
Yeah, that's manipulation on his part.
But this is not manipulation, right?
Yeah, it is. That's manipulation.
Okay. He is correct that in some ways you actually gave him no choice. Like,
No,
the choice
not
is
at all.
either reconnect with you and give you what you want, okay, or face constant harassment in the workplace where he needs to make a living and can't escape.
Not at all. Absolutely not at all.
But is that not, if he didn't give you what you wanted, right, which you regard as abuse, I disagree, okay, what was the consequence
What I
of that?
wanted, it's literally just not being abused. That's all I asked for. It's not
Okay,
being
your
abused.
version of not being abused is
yeah, here we go.
is having him regularly talk to you and be emotional with you, right? Okay, so if he's not being regularly emotional and talking to you, what's the
Why is
consequence?
it so difficult to understand what emotion?
Ooh, she's trying to pivot around it. Let's see if Eris can hold her to it. Let's see this. All right, let's see it happen. All right, let's watch it. Okay, she's squirming. She's squirming.
Abuse is like I don't understand why this is so difficult to understand. Like most people, like freaking everybody I know, like understands that like stonewalling, silent treatment is abusive. Like to just refuse to like respond to something is abusive. Like I don't understand.
I
why
could
it's
say
so difficult.
everyone. I think everyone would
stay on
much
it.
prefer,
Stay on
right, being so-called ignored in a DM versus being harassed regularly in DMs.
Actually,
Like, if, like-
no. Most of these victims say that they rather be yelled at than stonewalled. That's how painful it is.
Okay, no, don't take the bait. Go back to what you said. You had her. Go back. Just, you had her, okay? You had her at this shit. Go back. Don't take the bait. Dude, that is wild.
Okay, that's a weird claim to make. I think it's
Yeah, there's
definitely a
research on this. Do you
truism
want
that,
the research on that?
harassment. I mean, the
Damn
fact that
it.
harassment is actually a legal issue,
Please tell me she comes
but
back
how
to
is
it.
stonewalling is
harassment,
not a legal
like-
issue demonstrates that,
But
right?
how is it harassment to send like 6
Like, Anna, I want to be
messages, though?
clear. Like, Destiny actually has a right to take you to
6
court
messages.
about some of the things that you've said.
How? I have the right to take him to court for slandering me, literally.
I don't
He's
think
literally
that would
slandered me.
I wouldn't make a court argument,
He's
but
literally slandered me and acted like I'm like some kind of stalker. Like he literally told me to go onto panels. Do you remember?
Boy.
Like, okay, here's
Boy,
another
again.
instance of him being manipulative. By the way,
Listen,
he's
Clave?
like
I don't know
now
what
he's
the fuck
now
your
that
name
he's
is. Thank
angry
you
at
for the
me,
2
he's
months.
acting like, oh man, she like goes onto panels and like
Thank you
see
for
this
the
is
2
her
months.
stalk.
She has slipped away from it, man. That's so disappointing that she wormed her way out of that. That's so disappointing. Man, I really wanted to see her answer that question, that line of dialogue.
Manipulative. By the way, now that he's angry at me, he's acting like, oh man, she like goes onto panels and like, see, this is her stalking me, following me around. And it's like I have the DM of him literally saying, yeah, go onto lots of panels because I was talking to him about like,
Yeah, that's what the astringent hippie is getting to it. About somebody just being busy. According to Destiny, the first time she turned bad was when he was on a 13-hour flight to Sweden and then had to do a sponsored stream right after. She messaged him, I can't believe you'd be this greedy. Yeah, I thought I remember something. I know the Sweden thing. I don't remember if the sponsored stream was true. But I remember, yeah, he was actually busy, right? and shit like that, and that's why I brought up the busy shit. I just didn't remember exactly what it was. I remember the flight and shit like that, and he was actually busy. And then I think after the sponsored stream, he obviously wanted to sleep, because obviously, and then she like was like freaking out on him, and so I'm like, you know, if what you're saying is him being busy doing his job is abuse, right? Like, I don't know what to tell you, besides that's pretty abusive. If what you're saying is that somebody is being abusive by literally doing their job that they do to make money, that sounds like something that's like pretty cringe, no? Like pretty controlling to do. You can't do your job, your literal fucking job, otherwise it's abusive to me? That's not a boundary you can have. That's not a healthy boundary to have. This is, again, why I brought it back to the streamer example. I think the things that people typically look for in relationships are not accomplishable by streamers. I've actually even personally had a conversation with my girlfriend about how, you know, if my stream kicks off and shit like that, is she cool with, like, maybe not even, like, talking to me for, like, 2 days, 3 days? Because I might, like, do, like, a 24-hour stream, have to sleep, and then maybe I want to wake up and there's some, like, shit going on then I want to do, like, another fucking stream and shit like that. And I'm just going to be honest, in the past 2 months and shit like that, there's been times where, like, in a 1 week period, I've talked in total maybe 5 hours with my girlfriend. Like, it's not a ridiculously low amount of time. Considering I live with her, I should probably talk with her more. But, like, yeah. And it's like, I'm not even at the point where I'm streaming like 12 hours a day, like, or anything like that. Like some of these people, like fucking Destiny sometime or anything like this, or XQC, right? And I was so like, I've had multiple conversations with her about like, hey, are you cool with like not seeing me for like 4 days? And so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's hard to grow my stream and stuff. And he was like, go on lots of panels.
Well, I guess you'd be willing to play games on... I guess she better be willing to play games on stream then. Nice. She sounds like a pretty damn good one, man. Yeah, she's really fucking nice and cool. I like her. So yeah, I've had those conversations prior and shit like that, and you know, we're working with that.
Like, he told me to go on panels.
I mean, that just sounds like he's being a supportive friend, right? Helping out your stream.
Right, of course. That's
I don't
why
think he meant go on.
Like,
Wait, when she says for her to go on panels, does she think what he meant was go on panels, talk shit about me, and bring up the shit so you gain viewers? I mean, if he did, logs, I'd be surprised, but I'm ready to be surprised, okay? I'm ready to be... Logs, please? Let's see it. Let's see the evidence. I would be very surprised. Let's see the evidence.
I think you going on panels is great because I think you're incredibly smart and you have amazing things to contribute psychologically, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's she's leaning on DMs. I need to stop pausing. Stop pausing.
That's why, like, I'm so weirded out by this, right? Because I was describing behavior to you about that someone was doing something to me that you're actually doing yourself to him. And you told me and you gave me such great advice about that and helped me in that situation. And, like... But it's hard for you to see it when you're engaging in that behavior, like yourself. I just think that you have a lot to contribute, right? Especially, and I told you this myself, and that's probably what he meant. That, like, you going on panels and talking about your perspective with psychology and all of that stuff was going to be a great way to grow your stream, to demonstrate who you are. I don't think he meant, like, go talk about our personal relationship there.
No, of course not, no. But that's not the reason I went on to panels.
Wait,
I mean,
so why would she bring... Hold up. Then this... Dude, I'm full debate bro right now. Full fucking debate bro cap on. Why would she bring that up then? She's like, he told me to go on panels. So? And? He told you to go on panels so that you could grow your stream. Not so that you could, like, presumably, if I accept this. I haven't even seen this shit. Seen these logs. But even if I agree with it, like, he did that shit, presumably... to tell you to, like, grow your stream, grow your brand, to move on, to make your own path. What does that have to do with any of this conversation? Weird.
Jesus. But I did get upset when, like, I saw him laughing at me, you know, in the chat. Like,
she went on panels, wasn't to follow Destiny around?
That's abusive.
Right. And so Destiny was encouraging her, presumably, if I take her at her word, to go on panels so that way she could help herself and move on past him. Not so way she could continue talking about him. So she can't use that as an excuse for, like, her talking about him on panels. Well, he told me to go on panels. He didn't tell you to go on panels to talk shit about him. What?
To, like, mock and laugh at someone you're supposed to, like, be in a friendship
Fuck, everything is abuse, too? Yeah, and I'm gonna hit this one more fucking time, okay? This part of another part of the reason why this is really good to combat is because not only does it play into black-pilled incel narratives that, like, any woman that blocks you on Twitter or Tinder is being an abusive bitch. That isn't the case. They can block you and who the fuck cares? You can get stonewalled 30 messages deep in Tinder and it's still not abuse, okay? Be an adult, right? So, like, there's that. And also it plays into the incel black pill narrative that, like, women just cry abuse whenever anything happens to them that they don't like. Streamer guy didn't give me attention, so it's abusive. Bullshit. Alright? This isn't something that, like, most of these women, like, most women at all, are like at all. But they're gonna run with the propaganda. That's what happens. They're gonna run with it. Right? They're gonna think that this shit is normal. It's not. Right? It's not. It's not. No.
Which we were still at the time.
You are squatting? There is nothing that I said that's remotely close to W.
I think it's shitty to laugh at someone. I don't know if I would call that abusive. But
yeah, making them like the butt of a joke. It's pretty horrible. And like,
but whenever someone makes
upset over it,
else, like, whenever someone makes a mean comment about someone, that it's just automatically that's like in the abuse category, and you could treat them just like someone else.
Their pain. Laughing at someone's pain and distress is literally sadistic, and like
Oh, really? What about laughing about a dude that you say is abandoning his kid? Where does that rank on the abuse ladder? Dude, holy shit, we need some debate bro action in here. We need some debate bro action in here, dude. I want it! I want it, dude! I want it, dude! I want it so fucking bad, man.
I don't even understand how anyone could do that. I
hate it when guys laugh. Like, you know, like when you're fighting with a guy and then he just suddenly goes like whatever. Like,
hey,
you know,
Dan. Hey, Dan. Who asked?
And he does like the little laugh. Like, I hate that.
Go
shit.
back to watching fucking Runway.
And if anyone's watching, don't ever do that.
Laughing at my pain and distress, because like you're supposed to care when someone's in pain and distress.
Unironically, I actually agree with you. I don't think two of them can be on the screen at once.
About like
it's too
how
much.
Overwhelmed he probably thinks. He's probably completely exasperated. He's tried everything he can think of, right? And he just wants to cut off contact and be safe, right? And you've given him kind of like no choice.
No, I mean, he's given me no choice. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's weird because yes, I understand we both feel the exact same way. Because I feel like it too. Like, I feel like I've had no choice. I've been feeling like I'm fucking held hostage here. Like, because it's like, I gotta keep this shit, like, you know, I was bugging him to, like, be honest with Melina about how we were, like, talking and stuff, because I really didn't like that. That bothered the shit out of me.
Who cares? Wait, who the fuck? Why?
So much, and I didn't even get to add those
but that's
DM
his right.
screenshots.
It's his right to deal with his relationship the way he seems fit, right?
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't like hiding things from your partner. I don't like that. That bothered me so fucking much. I don't even like her, but like that bothered me so much.
You think someone needs to share every single thing with their partner? Do you think it's fair for someone else to say, like...
Why is she acting like this is the very first time she's ever thought about this? Wasn't she training to be a therapist? She's like, I don't know. Do I have to share every single last thing with my partner? Dude, you were fucking training to be a therapist, and this is the first time you've ever thought about this shit? What the fuck?
What you should
that's why I
sharing?
kept my mouth shut. That's why I kept my mouth shut. But like, it was hard because it's like it felt wrong and it bothered me and like. But anyway, I mean, you know, like, it's just been really hard, like, and like.
I'm sure it's gonna. I agree with you. It's probably been hard, and having such a public debacle like this is probably really shitty. It's everyone's nightmare. I totally get that, and that's why I was debating whether or not to do this. Like.
It's totally fine if he never wants to talk to me again. Like, that's fine. That's his right,
During the
you know?
Zerka
That he has
podcast,
that
Anna was
right,
threatening
of
to
course.
leak the stuff
I just
about
didn't
Melina,
want
by
to
the
be,
way.
I just didn't want to get, like, the silent treatment
I
and
don't remember
stonewalled
that.
and stuff. But, like, I always told him, like, if you really want to end this friendship, like, all I ask is that you tell me and, like, you know, just let me know. And
I
he
feel
always
like
said, yeah,
that-
I know. Like, yeah, I know.
So when he did it publicly,
At
did
the
it
end
not
of the
count?
day, like all of this stuff, right? Like you talking about it, like this debate of, like every single time that you call this stuff abuse, okay, someone can have just as good, if not a better argument that you were the abuser, right? And that might
How
seem
was I
totally
the
crazy,
abuser, though?
and that might seem totally crazy to you.
That
So
does
like,
seem really,
okay,
yeah.
but I'm telling you, that is the truth from an outside perspective.
Mm.
So this needs in general, right? Like if you want to move on from this and if you want your stream to be able to move on, like you told me yourself, you don't like how you were when you were with him.
Just like the few times, but like honestly, I mean, if someone is like ignoring a person, like I mean, if someone's
Yeah,
like,
but I don't want
ignoring
to
me,
get back
like,
on
I'm
the
gonna like
Stonewalling
send
thing
a
again.
few messages to them.
But like, but you don't like how you were. You don't like how you acted. You didn't like how you felt, right?
Yeah, I
like
was
you
not the
obviously need to
abuser.
be
That's
into
wild.
like
That's so
obviously you should not
wild.
be going for guys like Steven, right? Like bad match for you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not good with cold, callous people.
Yeah, and the thing is that like, I mean, you
So
and I
maybe-
would probably have like a really unhealthy.
If you I'm not good with cold, callous people, but I still want to be in a relationship with this dude that I've gone off for the past year and a half about being cold and callous. Bro, what? You're like 30, dude. You ain't 16 no more. Like, even if I grant her everything that she's saying, she's just being weird.
Relationship, right? Because I have a tendency, I shut down when someone's being really emotional, and this is like my own fault. It's like I tend to just shut down, and then I just
She's
cut
actually
someone off
she
and
is
I just
actually
sink
she's
into a
28.
depression, right? That's always like my
I'm just rounding
my
up.
technique, and it's a habit, and there's only so much I could do to fix it. So the people that I'm with, like I always make sure that like if I'm with someone, it's someone that knows that like will give me that space when I need it and all of that kind of stuff, and they're not gonna make me feel
Almost
bad
when
about it.
I don't
And
think
so
it's
I've had
calling
to
her
end some
30 when
friendships
she's
over
28
just
is obtuse.
being like incompatible. So you're obviously just not compatible with him, and it brought out. And I think you engage in like very, very toxic behavior with him,
Abuse.
right?
Yeah, it just sucks that like I don't understand how on earth my behavior could be called abusive. Like it does. There's nothing on the multidimensional measure of emotional abuse. Like I don't fit any of that. Like I didn't do any of that. I didn't stonewall. I didn't
And
give
it's
the
because
silent
your
treatment.
stuff is considered worse, right? Like
No,
harassing
it's not.
someone, like
Stonewalling
when
is
someone
so
blocks
much
you and
worse.
you keep messaging them, like that actually becomes it's considered so bad it becomes a legal issue.
Leaking DMs isn't?
No,
like,
it's
Nope,
not.
it's literally not.
and being
You-
terrified of leaking DMs?
Nope, that's not illegal.
I mean, it's
Neither
kind
one.
like obviously I think revenge porn is illegal in some places.
Wait,
but
wait.
it's a
revenge porn is illegal because revenge porn is actually leaking very specific DMs, right? Just leaking DMs is not illegal. No. It's not. This is like, hey, listen, Ahrelevant said howdy to me one time in DMs. I leaked it. Well, you get to court, buddy. Lawyer
Sheer
up.
100 reverse
No,
Stonewall.
there's nothing illegal. There's no illegal conduct that Destiny has done so far, right? And I'm not even going to make any claims about Ana having illegal conduct or anything. But what Eris is saying is true. Like, consistently trying to harass somebody is absolutely something that can be a legal measure.
very severe thing when someone blocks you.
Does it have
you
to
need
be a
respect
one-party
it.
consent state? I don't think DMs have anything to do with one-party or two-party consent. Shit, that's like it's a call thing, not a like recording your voice, not the text.
Yeah,
Like
obviously.
even though
but,
it
like,
hurts,
unless,
and I'm
I mean,
sure it hurts
could
so
be the
much,
silent treatment and
even if you're
abusive.
scared. No, even if you're scared, you need to respect when someone blocks you, and like the next time that happens, like you need to, even though it hurts,
Calls and videos,
you
yeah.
need to respect it
Yeah, but
because at the
what
end of the
if,
day,
like,
you're not
they're-
entitled to communication with anyone.
What about when they're like, yeah, but what about when they're like leaking DMs to like ruin my life though?
No, you've got to block them, and then you have to go into some kind of other avenue to try to fix the situation and not engage in
Well, that is true.
communication
That
with
is
them.
true. It's probably best to just cut contact with the person though, actually, because I mean, it is toxic to leak DMs anyway, like without consent. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that
Sure.
like,
but like people
you
don't
just
seem
need
to
to
like
cut.
be understanding at all about it. Like, okay, like I mean, I did that once. Like, what the fuck? Like I did that once. Like I don't understand.
when?
Like.
Okay.
When?
But you need like what's best for you and what's best for him.
When?
Like sometimes conflict resolution is really, really hard. This one should be easy because it's one of those rare situations that what's best for you is also best for him, which is no contact. Like it's literally a win-win for both of you, right? Like he gets to move on, not have his shit ruined, not have his reputation ruined, and gets to keep streaming and doing all he's doing and fight with Hassan, whatever, right?
But
Okay,
he's
and then
already
you
ruined my reputation. And he's
Bubba
ruined
was here,
like
thank you for
my
the primer.
professional
First
life
time
with
sub.
his lies though.
Okay.
So like how am I
that is so not true, right? Like how many
Yeah,
people
it's true.
how many people does Steven hate? Okay, and said
he called
shitty
me
things
a
about and they're still
stalker.
successful.
But he called me a stalker and I have to like disprove his lies.
No.
And Steven is like really weird about not holding grudges. Like I say really weird because like I don't know how he does it, dude. Like I wouldn't consider myself a grudge bearer, but I definitely hate people significantly like longer than I guess he does. He'll like have a disagreement, full on fucking like scream match with somebody and be back to being chill with them like the next day. Like it's really weird how that shit can go. The amount of we hate Rem to we like Rem arcs and how quickly they can like go is like insane because like of their screaming matches, it's like fuck it, all right, we're not gonna talk to him, talk about him and shit like that, and then it blows over in like a minute and then he's back to doing it. Sheesh.
Okay. What you need to do is just completely stop
And
talking
defend
about him. I'm
myself.
telling you, okay? I will send you $100 if this doesn't work, okay? It's a lot of money for me. Okay?
Your behavior on Steam is ruining your professional life. I know, Waffles.
okay.
You
No,
told
what
me
I'm
that
telling
multiple times.
Okay? Is that you need to just stop
You take all
talking
these
about
online
him.
antics too seriously? Hey, listen. Hey, this is my life, okay? I'm trying to cut out a livelihood here. And I genuinely might take it a little bit too serious. Man, I just like the dissemination of good information. I fucking hate it when people are like cringe dumb fucks, man. I hate people that are spreading misinformation quite a bit.
Right? Like this and like needs to be like the last time you ever speak about him publicly again. Like no more tweets, no more talking about it on streams, no more messaging his friends to complain about him
RTBA.
or like even your friends unless like maybe just have one special
What
person.
What friends of his have I messaged to complain about
Okay,
him?
I don't want to get into that again. No more
I
whisper
would like
wars.
to know. Someone should tell me
because I've already
who.
told you. All right.
Who?
Anna,
Who
please.
though?
Uh-oh. What's happening?
Anna, I need you, right? Like we've already gone through those instances. Okay, it doesn't
I didn't
matter to go
message
over it.
Peach about him at all.
Sorry.
Oh, people were bringing up Pichu. I didn't talk about him
No,
with her at
just
all.
Ignore
It
chat.
was about her.
Like if you completely move on from this, okay, literally people
I don't
will forget
remember
about
that.
it.
I don't remember
okay?
anything with that.
There's tons of people that Destiny said shit about, and they're doing very well. They're doing very, very well, right? So like,
Fucking
you can
Hassan,
easily
dude.
move on from this. Okay, you just need to not talk about it again. We know how this stuff
Like
happens.
the
how,
richest
the drama
streamer on the
cycles happen.
platform?
And people will literally forget about it. Okay, especially if you never engage in this kind of behavior again. People think it's a one-off.
Yeah, I know, but like,
There's no buts though. Like that's it.
what
Literally,
do you
it's
mean?
a win-win.
Am I supposed to
Where are my
just not
butts?
defend myself at all?
But if you keep defending yourself, right? Like it's literally like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, right? If you just keep focusing on your own victimhood, okay, the cycle just never stops, and then he keeps getting victimized, and then he'll do stuff, and then you'll be re-victimized. It's like it's a cycle that will just
I
never
think
stop.
that I tried to like message his friends and I didn't. Like I know better than to do that. Like that's creepy.
Anna, you messaged me, and I know you messaged tons of other people. Like, come on, don't lie about that.
But I don't know who.
You said you were venting.
Yeah, but like with my friends, and like I thought that you were like a friend of mine. Like I didn't think you were friends with him.
No. Okay.
I mean, I don't know what she means by messaging, but yeah, like what Eris said. I mean, she messaged a ton of streamers about like how he's like misrepresenting and spinning. She literally messaged me, and she tried it with me. I blocked her, but like, I don't know what she means by like this shit.
Anna, in the DMs, I literally said, okay, like that I'm friends with him, okay, and he's always being respectful for me. So, but I'm not like.
You said you
literally said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that you were friends with Steven."
That's
okay,
abuse.
Initially.
Shut
and I said,
up.
"Yeah, we are." Okay, and then you said, "Oh, I hope you don't think I'm trying to turn you against him." I was like, "No, don't worry about that." But then you continuously sent me more messages after that, so I know you knew that we were, unless you like convinced yourself that we weren't.
But you literally said, "Okay, hold on. I'm getting these DMs now."
Okay, sure.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Not
Like
yet.
I remember you literally saying
killed
that,
the
like, yeah,
doctor.
we're not like great friends or anything, but I feel loyal to him.
If Anna DMCA strikes me, I'd strongly consider legal action. Good thing, actually, my girlfriend actually has experience, like, knowing about how to take course in, like, legal action and shit like that, and same with her family. And so, yeah, I unironically have good resources to be able to take legal action, so we'll see what happens.
Is what you said.
Yeah, saying we're not great friends does not mean that we're not friends. It's actually implying that we are friends.
I interpreted that as like being acquaintances. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure I told you multiple times that we were friends, like point blank after that.
After that?
Can you place a bet on if Anna and Destiny end up in this situation?
Yeah.
Remember the soccer I fought in?
Look at that, because I'm not seeing that anywhere. Yeah, you didn't.
You must comply with the following conditions.
No,
Holy
I thought
shit,
they were
bring up Steven so much.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. There's no way that this shit is real, RTBA. Wait, can I show this on stream? Yeah, it's on Twitter, right? Jesus Christ. What the fuck is this shit? Remember the stalker I fought in court a year ago? I've been dealing with things behind the scenes for the past few months because he broke probation by harassing my friend and tweeting disgusting things about me. Look at what he's not allowed to use now. Get fucked, nerd. You must comply with the following conditions. Report to a bail supervisor. Right. Okay. I'm just going to skip to the... Do not access Twitter, Instagram, Discord, Twitch, or YouTube. State-sanctioned. Fucking neat. State-sanctioned. Fucking... Oh my god, dude. Dude, that is crazy, dude. State sanctioned, dude. I didn't even know they could do that. Unless you were like, well, I mean, unless you were in like prison, right? I didn't think you could do that unless you were literally in prison. That's crazy, dude. That's wild, man. That's wild. Reside at an address approved by the Bail Supervision Program and not move from that address without obtaining prior approval for a new address from Bail Supervision Program. Seek and maintain counseling as directed by Bail Supervision Program, John Howard's, I don't know the fuck, and sign all forms necessary for Bail Supervision Program to monitor your progress. Notify the officer in charge or designate at this place of your address within 24 hours of any change in your address. Do not contact... Jesus Christ, dude. That's Anna's future? Maybe, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, I said that we talk sometimes and that I'm loyal to him. And that we're not super great friends. Okay, but I'm still loyal to him. Like, I think I demonstrated that we were friends, and I said that it was awkward when you talk badly about him.
Where did you say that? But you didn't tell me that you didn't want me to. Like, if
Really?
you had told me...
No,
you
no,
wanted
you're right
to-
about
I
that.
didn't know that.
Like, I wouldn't have then.
No, you're right. And I mean, I hope you would have respected if I said it point blankly, right? I actually only started to think that it was a bad thing, right? That you were messaging me about it when I realized you were doing it with other people.
Like, who?
Like, I know you messaged some of other Destiny's friends, like, about the situation.
Who? But who, though?
Who?
There are literally people in chat, like, that have said that.
There are?
Yeah, I don't know if Destiny's here.
I messaged Ahrelevant when he was covering the thing. When he was
Don't
covering
say my
us.
name. Don't say my name.
Because he wasn't covering it accurately. He wasn't getting things right.
Okay.
There are literally so many people. Like, I've literally I went to, remember the last time you and I spoke? The last time you and I spoke, I messaged Destiny afterwards and I said, hey, like, I talked to Ana and...
Dude, I'll fucking leak her DMs, dude. And I know that's, like, she's afraid of, like, I don't know what the hell she's on about.
She's agreed that she's never going to speak about you again, so hopefully this stops, right? And you know what he says in response? Like, his response is, well, good luck. You know how many people have messaged me that they've talked to Ana and they think it's solved? And then it turns out it wasn't.
I just want to know who.
I don't know, maybe those people don't. It's just, I know it's a lot.
Yeah, he lied.
This is not looking like good from Eris, because I know what she's doing. She's trying to not, like, speak anybody's name into existence here that don't want to be named. So she's writing a fine line, right? Like, for instance, if I haven't explicitly given her permission to talk about how I've gotten DMs, and maybe I said it to her in confidence, which I know there are some streamers talking about, like, this shit in confidence, that she feels uncomfortable disclosing some of these names. So she's in a really tough spot here, right? The spot where we're talking about, like, private situations and bringing them into public, she's into that tough spot, or what have you. So yeah, it doesn't look good optically. Like, optically it doesn't look good, but what she's saying is true.
A lot.
I don't think it's him lying because it's not
Yeah,
just
she
from
could.
him.
I didn't say anything to Pichichu about him. That's not what I messaged Pichichu about. It was about
I don't remember what she messaged Pichichu about. Yeah.
her.
What was it about, though? I know she messaged somebody, like, saying, like, oh, how's your relationships been? Or some shit, like, pretty much implying, like, I don't remember. Some lore masters are gonna have to do with it.
It had nothing to do with him. So that's not a thing.
Either way, like, it's not
I don't
productive.
lie, chat. I literally don't lie. You're gonna have to show
Either
me
way,
where I fucking
it
lied.
is not
'Cause,
productive,
I have not lied.
whatsoever. Anna, it's just, this isn't helping you. You don't like how you acted when you were with him, right?
Yeah, but people are saying
You don't
I
like the
lied,
side
and
that
I
it brought
haven't
up.
lied. But people are saying I lied, and I haven't lied.
Anna, if you keep worrying about...
Just to be clear, she lied in this conversation, point blank, about a very important detail. She stated overtly, I never streamed in the same hotel as Steven. Aptly a lie. Not only did she stream in the same hotel, she streamed in the same hotel room. In the same room of the hotel room, because to my knowledge, it was multi-room. Maybe I'm wrong. In the same, like, area, vicinity, local vicinity as Destiny, let alone the same hotel, so...
Fixing every little detail and every little discrepancy, okay, instead of the larger picture. The larger picture is that this was abusive, this was toxic.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what movie.
And also, to be clear, she said that the reason why she messaged me was because I was getting things wrong. Nowhere, I'm double checking the DMs, right? And nowhere did she make it
100,
clear
I
to
don't
me
lie,
what
it's
she thought
reality
I was
that's
lying
lying to you.
about. Nowhere did she make it clear to me what she thought I was lying about.
She just stated like, hey, why didn't you talk to me? And it's like, there's an obvious reason why I wasn't talking to you.
Post memes.
Okay, the larger picture, that's like the little details are like almost like irrelevant at this point. Okay,
I guess, but I mean,
I don't
I
mind
try
Eris
so
saying
hard
my
to
name.
be like a good person.
but I'm telling
That's
you,
all I
if
care
people found
about.
out that you weren't lying about one thing, it's not gonna fix it.
I guess, but
It's
like,
just not, right?
You know,
Like
the thing
we're
I
talking
care
about,
about most is being
it's like
good
a rat's
person.
nest to it's like a huge. This thing is so much bigger than that.
Yeah.
Okay, like at the end of the day, like number one, like you need to literally no more tweets, no more talking about it on stream. Don't message other people about him. Okay, even don't vent to your
Tony.
friends. Like just stop talking about it. Maybe only talk about it with your therapist. Okay.
Yeah, it's
like,
based.
for your sake and for his sake. Okay, and like from a legal perspective, I'm telling you, it is a smart thing to do.
Tweets the next
Okay,
day.
like, you need to just
Wait, are there
move on.
tweets that she
and
made today?
This will help your streaming career. It won't hurt his. It's like a win-win. There's no reason
Why
not
do
to do it.
people
The
tell
only thing that's keeping you from doing it are like irrational emotions. Like, let's be real. So, you need to move on, and you will not. And I know this is the hardest part, right? You're not gonna get the closure.
Like, telling me that I wasn't abused and like minimizing abuse and stuff. Because like one of the things I really care about is like helping people understand how serious
Anna,
psychological abuse is, and like stonewalling and the silent treatment and stuff.
You're minimizing the abuse he suffered.
No, I'm not. He was constantly abusive to me with stonewalling.
Does stonewalling X out the unhealthy, toxic behavior that you did to him?
No.
Is that how abuse works?
It still
Or
matters. His feelings still matter, of course, and they're valid.
Okay, so
Ah,
you
nah,
harassed
she
him,
she
and you
did
need to take ownership.
she did some fancy work with the wording there. I can guarantee, like, not only is she implying it, but I can guarantee she also doesn't mean that, like, she was abusive there.
That. Right? It doesn't matter if you had good reasons to be doing it at the time.
What
It's still
about him
harassment.
taking ownership of his emotional abuse, though? Why doesn't it count for him too? Why is it all on me?
He has, first of all, he has said that he'll capitulate to all the things that you wanted. I mean, on like when I was watching the Zerka stream, it
This is
sounded like
such a
someone who's just
fucked. This is such a fucked situation, right? Him having to say, like, yeah, I was abusive when he wasn't, right? When this is not an abusive thing to do, at least in regards to what was levied and what have you. I haven't seen the private information. I won't stipulate to the private information. Right? I'm not privy to that. Eris has seen private information, apparently, and shit like that. I can't make claims. I haven't seen it. Based on all the information that I've seen, right? At best, you could say that he was being... This is like if you're being... honestly kind of really a piece of shit to Destiny. You could say that he was being cringe when after the 13-hour flight in the sponsored stream he should have messaged Ana, because that would have been the right and like nice thing to do to her. But then you'd be, I feel like at that point you're being a piece of shit. But like that's the most that I could ever give. I mean, he shouldn't have maybe invited Dan on the first call, but they didn't know what the situation would be on the first call. They didn't think that it would be this whole situation. I don't know. That's probably the most that you're gonna realistically get out of me.
Separated, right? Like that he'll capitulate to whatever, but he shouldn't have to. Like he shouldn't have to agree to everything that you think in order to have a basic human right, which is like you leaving him alone.
Yeah, no shit. I'm not like trying to not leave him alone. Okay. I just wanted to talk about my abuse.
Yeah, but you talking about it everywhere, especially in like a public setting where he works, that's not leaving him alone.
True.
So like I can't talk about, like a victim can't talk about their abuse?
She's trying it right now. She's fucking trying it. She's fucking trying it.
Anna, you're talking about as if like you're like a victim of like some like physical abuse or like some like deep-seated long,
and then she's gonna make the well, often emotional abuse can be worse than physical abuse,
form of emotional manipulation. Like the worst he did was stonewalling.
Yeah, but that's that's really horrible, and
Yeah,
it's
but
very
you did
damaging.
it so much worse, Anna.
You know that research shows that that kind
Oh
of
my God.
emotional abuse is the most damaging, right? Like research shows that.
Rewatched.
I'm sure we can find research to the
Rewatched.
contrary.
No, that type of emotional abuse is really damaging.
Anna, you need to move on. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get the closure that you want. Okay, this is part of being an adult. Like, you don't get
So
what you
predictable?
want.
Nah, yeah. Anybody could have predicted that. Like, I could have thrown up a poll in chat, and there would have been 0 deniers in there. There would have been all nodders and yeppers.
Want out of relationships all the time. Sometimes a guy is gonna be a dick. Sometimes a guy is gonna be interested in you and then change his mind. Okay. Sometimes he'll sleep with you and then change his mind afterwards. Okay. It feels shitty.
Sometimes
it
he'll lead
hurts.
you on too.
It
without
feels
even
shitty.
really
It
doing
hurts.
intentionally.
But at the end of the day, he has every right to do that. You are not entitled to his emotions.
Yeah, I never said I was.
Okay.
I don't know why you're
So-
assuming things though. I'm not
okay,
like
well,
I'm not like
so
making
you
him
need to
responsible
learn.
for my emotions.
And
I never said I was entitled to his emotions. I said I was entitled to within 24 hours, he has to message me back. I'm not entitled to his emotions, but I'm entitled to his time. And him being nice to me.
He's
Anna, please.
responsible for his abusive behavior.
Dude. All right, listen, trust me. All right, and for any of the Squad W guys or anything like this, all right, most women are not like this. Okay, don't think that like if you don't message a girl back within 48 hours or whatever, that she's gonna like do this shit. Most women are not like this. All right, they're pretty chill people. Okay. I don't want to see like insults generated out of this shit.
And not inflicting that abuse onto other women, which he'll end up doing anyway because he doesn't learn.
Anna, at the end of the day, you need to learn how to handle
Too late.
and accept rejection.
Hey,
Right?
geek, get the fuck out of my stream and make my next YouTube video, huh? Huh? What the fuck are you doing? You're sitting over here making fun of me and my content saying too late? Get the fuck out of here and make the goddamn next YouTube video, alright? What the fuck do I pay you for? Get the fuck out! Huh? Clock is ticking.
And
Yeah,
respect
that's
the
not the
person's
issue,
right.
though. That's not the
respect
issue. The issue is abuse. So I'm not going to let you twist this around and say that because the issue is being abused. I don't
But your
accept
version
being
of
abused.
him abusing
And I
you
never
is
will
him,
accept being
is him
abused.
rejecting you and not being emotional with you and not responding to you.
That's not rejection. That's abuse. It's called stonewalling and the silent treatment. And I will not accept that behavior. That's not okay.
And I'm telling you, the
nobody should
stubbornness
ever
is
accept
like
that type of
the
behavior.
stubbornness. Like if you continue this kind of behavior, like I'm telling you,
You pay your editor? I thought you were a socialist. All right, get the jokes out, boys. Get the jokes out. Get the jokes out, okay? All right, capitalists are the only ones who pay their editor. First, true. Second, based. And third of all, like, let it all out, all right? Let it all out. I want to vent your frustrations, okay? And yes, yeah, get it all out, boys. All right, go ahead.
gonna get you in trouble one day. Like that's like I'm
No,
telling
I
you, like,
understand I
legal
didn't
trouble.
respond well. I understand I didn't respond well to it. Like, I understand that I did not respond well. And I responded in a toxic way. I understand that.
Have you ever
Maybe
heard of
abusive?
the concept of a disproportional response?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I
Israel
don't
does
think
it all the
mine
time,
was.
right? So like
I don't think mine was disproportional.
like
because
a like
I
a,
would be
a
horrified.
Palestinian throws a rock, right? And then like, you know, Israel just decides to do like a very large bomb and like destroys like a hospital or something because they knew
I
that
just
Hamas was
don't. I just think that
I'm sorry. The example given here is just why would you? I'm sorry. Why would you? This feels so ineffective as an analogy. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. This feels so. I know what the analogy works for like other people, but like you're literally saying that she's like a bomb blowing up a hospital, dude. You're saying she's a bomb blowing up a fucking hospital, dude. Jesus. I don't think this is gonna work well with her.
Sheer 100, never mind. Anna was right about you, you fucking stonewalling, gallisting, dark tried motherfucker. This is abuse. I even have to pay bits if I want to talk to you. That's also another form of abuse. Exposed by me.
I was about to skip too. I wish you had more in there so that way I could have skipped it and scammed you.
Yeah, you are just not.
Also, I like it how you are so fucking lazy that you're willing to give me money rather than work! You dumb fuck! Get to work!
Like, you don't seem to be having much empathy for how bad, like, that emotional
I do have empathy
coldness
because
and, like,
I think your
that
heart got broken.
callousness
And
is.
I think your heart got broken, and I totally understand that.
No, I mean,
Like,
it's
and then you have
damaging,
everything to be going
psychologically
physical.
damaging. It's psychologically damaging to, like, have someone, like,
Love you, geek.
like, lead you on and, like, seem
Sure,
that.
and I'm sure that
to,
hurts,
like,
Anna.
and then, like, to have them, like, to see them then in public being so callous and cold towards you, and, like,
And you have every right to
Cartwright put the E-Rob emote.
feel pain from that. That shit sucks. Okay?
Yeah, but
like,
that's
everyone.
abuse.
I'm sure everyone who's ever watched this has experienced that from someone they had feelings for. It
I don't know
hurts.
about that.
Okay? No, like that shit hurts. I totally get that. Okay? It hurts. Everyone's cried about that at one point. It's painful. I get it. Okay? But it doesn't give you the right. Okay, just because
It
someone
is
does something, it
abusive,
doesn't give
though.
you the right to do a disproportional response, right? And like, so,
It is
and then
abusive,
abuse
though.
him.
It is abusive though, because it causes, like, a huge, like, you know, I mean, I've read about this. I've read up on the damage it causes, and it causes.
I read Capital, so I'm an expert on economics, so I can weigh in on this situation. Let me adjust my mic a bit here, you know. It starts with feudalism. All right. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why doesn't it start with the dinosaurs? And I'm going to tell you why, okay? I haven't done that much reading, as much reading as Richard Wolff, so we're not going to go Paleolithic with it. Not quite, all right? We're not that advanced, so we're going to start at feudalism.
This is like a person to, like, wonder about their self-worth and stuff, and, like, it harms their self-esteem and self-concept. That's what emotional abuse does, and it definitely did that to me. Like, my self-esteem is, like, in the trash now.
Yeah, but emotional abuse also
That
makes someone
sucks.
feel unsafe and scared, right? And
Which
overwhelmed.
I did
and
feel
all that.
unsafe and
It
scared.
doesn't start
And I did
with the
feel unsafe
dinosaurs
and scared.
because Pepe wins.
Like,
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You gave me money. Think about that, you fucking Pepe poster. You gave me money. You paid a Yee poster, right? Fucking co-parter.
I'll be honest, Anna, if someone had done to me what you did to Destiny with the constant harassment and talking about
It
him
wasn't
nonstop,
constant
right, and
harassment.
accusing me of abuse, I would have quit streaming. Like it, and honestly, streaming is like one of the best things in my life.
Wait,
and
what
I
did
would
she
have
say
given
about
up.
quitting streaming?
Did feel unsafe and scared.
Like, I'll be
Wait,
honest,
from what?
Anna, if someone had done to me what you did to Destiny with the constant harassment and talking about
It
him
wasn't
nonstop,
constant
right, and
harassment.
accusing me of abuse, I would have quit streaming.
Ah, I see.
Like it, and honestly, streaming is like one of the best things in my life, and I would have given
A-based.
up everything because of that.
So it's not harassment that he was, like, leaking my DMs and constantly calling me crazy and the craziest person he's ever met. Oh, that's not harassment. It's just harassment when, like, I try and talk about my abuse.
No, it's harassment.
I mean, why'd you suggest bringing it into the public then? Why would that be an idea that comes into your mind as something that, like, would have been a good idea? It's just weird.
When you constantly message him after
It's weird that a therapist
Q100
in
amphibians
training...
suck. Reptiles suck. Fish reign supreme. Ooh wins.
Nope. Between ooh, like ooh is the inferior fish. And is the superior fish. But ye never
Your
lose.
100 hype.
Thank you. But why is a person who's studying to be a therapist taking relationship shit public? Also, like, that's obviously gonna get fucking weird.
blocks you. Okay, and you keep sending messages over and over again.
Yeah, to try and make peace with my fucking abuser so that he maybe might have a...
Yeah, I know. She was at the time, though. Someday, to my knowledge, at the time of the initial situation going public, Destiny said
Your
that,
100 fish
it was a
moly wins.
mutual...
Keep
Nice.
coping.
It was that she had suggested going public with some of the shit, or had
agreed to make it public. More specifically, she had agreed to make it public. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? If you're like somebody who keep it private, make sure it's all like above the cuff and shit like that, right? Same suggestion we gave to Dylan and during the Katarana Prime situation. Keep it private, run it down. Like very little information and logs being out there is perfectly fine for a private conversation. Keep it private. Keep it locked up tight. And then the situation can get resolved faster. But she wanted to make it public, and now she's complaining about it being public and the ramifications of it being public, which I can be somewhat empathetic to, because maybe she just didn't understand what she was getting herself into. Sure. But she's also kind of acting like she didn't get herself into this position in the first place and isn't perpetuating it herself. You know, if she's so worried about it being public and all the negative ramifications of it being public, maybe don't tweet about it every time you get the opportunity.
Show a shred of fucking empathy for me and humanity.
Destiny is never going to be releasing your nudes. He is committed to that. Like, I
He
know he's committed to that.
promised me he wouldn't leak our private DMs too once. He promised me he wouldn't leak our private DMs once too. How can I trust him not to do that one day?
Hey, again, I have no sympathy for her here, and you shouldn't either, because she recently put out a false DMCA claim on Cherry, forcing Cherry to be in the position where she might have to disclose her own private information to Ana. So, this moral high ground she's trying to sit on, well, Destiny has private information and I can't trust her. Cherry sure as fuck doesn't trust Ana. That's for fucking sure, alright? Because nobody reasonably is, alright? So she is putting Cherry in a position where she has to give her personal information. So don't feel empathy for her at all, because she's putting another woman in that same exact situation, and in fact, perhaps a worse situation, because the information that Cherry would be forced to give her would be information that could be used to dox Cherry, alright? So she is putting Cherry in a dog shit position, alright? Where she has to trust that Ana won't dox her with the information given in the future, right? Crazy shit. She has to trust her with that kind of information. So, yeah, I have no sympathy for Ana in this.
I mean, if you'll grossly violate someone's privacy like he did to me...
Cherry already sent her info?
There's no...
Oh, Cherry already sent the info? Woof. 07. 07. God bless to Cherry. Send her support, unironically. Like, support that woman, all right?
No telling what someone like that will do. It's threatening.
If you have so much empathy for yourself in that situation, can't you see how he would feel? That somehow, like, there's this person who has so much like, incriminating personal shit, and now she's gone totally public.
Yo, Torok, I want Ana to have to defend the false DMCA claim, but I really don't want this situation to blow up any further than it is. I just want it to, like, die out. And plus, Cherry's a fucking grown-ass woman, alright? She can deal with it. And if she wants to do it, Godspeed. You know, I'm not gonna fight on her behalf. She's shown that she's clearly capable of doing it on her own. She can do it, Godspeed. She has my blessing. Alright? If that's even something she wanted. She's got my blessing there. She's got my fucking full support, alright? If she wants to fucking pursue that. But yeah, I'm upset, for sure.
Like, what about... Why do his feelings never matter in this?
RTBA.
They matter so fucking much. They do. They matter so much. But, like... It doesn't mean that his behavior was acceptable. It doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it any less abusive.
And I like
it doesn't mean that it's okay to, like, of course... I've always cared about his feelings. I've made that so clear. I've always wanted him to explain to me, like, how he's feeling and stuff.
No. It's caring about someone's feelings does not mean needing them to explain their feelings, right?
No, it's like it's I'm not needing him to explain his feelings. It's that I was interested in, like, understanding his perspective and understanding his feelings.
Yeah, but when he tells you something in his own way, okay, you need to listen to that. And he's told you to leave him alone. To not talk about him.
Once again, to bring up the context of the ignoring texts, right? If I remember correctly, right? This was based on the information that was presented and reaffirmed as being a thing, and I'm using the best of my recollection. Correct me if I'm wrong. This situation of him ignoring the texts happened after a long flight. It was said to be 13 hours. I don't remember if that's precise. A long flight to Sweden, and then following that immediately up with a sponsored stream. I thought I remember some shit like her saying, like, you can message me when you, like, get out of the plane or when you're, like, in an Uber and shit like that. And it's like, that was just so wild to me and shit. But yeah, it was after a very long flight, him then proceeding to do a sponsored stream, and then, like, I think he went to bed after that, obviously, but I don't remember the full details. But I remember it was a very long flight, like 13-hour flight, into a sponsored stream, and he was wiped.
Okay, to not harass him, to not message him, to stop it.
What about me? Why can't I? Why am I not allowed to ask for him to do the same? Oh no! Do it to
I think
me.
you have every right to ask for him to do the same, because I think he'll stop talking.
Case closed, indeed.
Yeah, he
the
won't.
green light.
He won't. No, he won't.
Okay.
He's never gonna. He's never gonna. He's gonna be like, come on, look at Bad Bunny, look at all the people, look at Hassan. He constantly talks about them.
Okay. I
I'm
don't
gonna
think you
be
should bring
one
up
of
dirty
those
laundry.
people now.
Oh god. She's making it worse every time she does this. I guarantee you, after the first situation, she drops it, so many people wouldn't even remember who the fuck she was. I can guarantee you, 100%. Nobody would remember who the fuck she was. I have another example of this. I don't even know. Does anybody how many people? I'm actually curious, because maybe I'm just really wrong about this. But no, I know that I'm right about this. But just as a little something, how many people remember the Arya Nina shit? One if you remember, two if you don't. One if you remember, two if you don't. 1, 2, 2, 2. It's like a 50-50, 60-40 maybe split on two's favor. I imagine that I have some people that are going to disproportionately know about it inside of my chat room, but that's actually a fair number of twos. That's interesting. And even that got brought up at several times before. And what have you. But yeah, there you go.
Never wanted to do like that.
I don't think you should bring up
absolutely
dirty
not.
dirty laundry.
I'm not going to have another one of these
because it's just not productive at all.
But I'm just saying, like, this is his pattern. This is what he does. I'm never gonna, like, escape this.
That is not true. Okay? I don't.
Calls me mentally ill for no reason. I'm probably going to do the IRL Vaush debate, so maybe I'll talk to him there. What the fuck? He means Destiny's there? What? Anytime Melina comes into DGG and acts cringe, I call her Aria Melina, and she gets super mad. Nixon, don't listen. Be careful out here.
This is his pattern.
RTB is looking bloodthirsty.
He wants to hate each other like he has with, like, him and, like,
RTBA.
Bad Bunny. Like, I never
Just
wanted
cut 'em
that
out.
for that to be us, you know?
Okay.
I didn't want it to be, like, constantly sniping at each other and stuff.
Well, that's why I'm telling you the ball is in your court, because I know that he literally wants this gone. He wants this out. He wants this out. He does not want people talking about his personal life. He probably hates that I did this stream. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
It sucks.
okay, it fucking sucks to
God,
have shit, your personal
she stops
shit
crying
out for
so
everyone.
fast.
Like, he wants to move on, and you need to move on. It's literally only a win-win. It's good for you. Even though it's going to hurt to not be able to talk about what you went through and stuff. Like, it feels good to vent. But sometimes what feels good for us is not what's best for us.
I like chicken nuggies, and they're pretty good for me.
I guess.
Spare Kodali. Okay, you know what? We have talked for too long about a chatter. All right, Kodali, good luck. All right, sign a fucking... I'm going to have the Court of Log system come out soon, okay? I'm going to have a Court of Log system fill out a fucking form, All right, fill out a form, an unbanned form. We'll get you an attorney. All right, we'll get you a fucking lawyer, and they'll plead your case if you can't show up and do it for yourself. All right, there you go. All right, good luck.
Still seems like I'm being silent, but yeah. Everybody keeps telling me like that it's best to just not talk about it, and then like people forget about it.
That will happen.
At me on Discord if you need one of the forms. I'm gonna formally make the form below the chat in the panels and shit like that, and in my Discord and shit like that, and probably post it on Twitter and shit.
Happen over time, and everyone will be on to like the next drama or something that someone else did.
Yeah.
And like, because at the end of the day, like what's going on is people are literally like profiting.
Akiba, I would prefer if they had Mike. I don't think RTBA ever talks.
Yeah, like, look at what Jonzherka's stream do. Like, I mean, even my stream right now, right?
RTBA can assist the prosecution, though. If that's what he wants, like give them information and shit. If that's something that the prosecution decides to inquire through them, yeah. RTBA IRL equals yeah, so there you go. So yeah, I mean, if somebody like inquires like about some shit, if he wants to give it, he can. I mean, that's the way that it'll work.
And like that shit,
All the
that's
other
unfair.
Yes, I did, Tony.
Oh, God.
That's to any streamers, right? At the end of the day, like this continuing, you both
You're
are
not
the
shadow
losers,
banned from Discord,
and every
dude.
other streamer who gets to talk about this and make content is the winner.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I get like your full commitment, like that you will completely stop talking about
Oh wait,
this?
I guess you are banned.
and
You're
totally move
unbanned.
on.
Yeah, I mean, I've been.
And if you do that, I will personally help you with your stream. And I'll help you find good mods to make sure people don't bring that shit up in your stream. And like, I'll help you build up other content. I will do everything I can because I know that that's better for you, and I know that that's good for him.
That's very nice of you. I mean, I appreciate that. And yeah, I've been committed to it. Like, I haven't been, like, talking about it and stuff. Like, all my friends have been saying, like, don't talk about it, don't talk about it. They didn't even want me to, like, go on here, but... Yeah.
Well, I
have to. I have to. Like, I have to.
Okay, I commend you for that. Like, if you're gonna completely commit to that, I think that that is a win-win for both of you. And if it makes you feel like you're
Deja vu.
silenced, I think what helps is to focus and have empathy. And I don't want you to argue about this, right? On what he's experiencing too, because suffering makes people selfish. We all know that. Okay,
Yeah.
It's a known thing. Like when I'm depressed, I'm very self-focused because it's a survival mechanism. So you're suffering, but as a consequence of that,
Really,
it's made you
gamers? Clip,
self-absorbed,
gamers.
right?
Clip.
And I don't mean that as an insult. Okay, like literally, it happens to me too. When someone like cuts off their arm, they're not thinking about everyone else whose arms are cut off, right? They're thinking my arm's bleeding, I need to fix it. So if you can be self-critical of yourself in those moments and think, just because I'm suffering doesn't mean that like I haven't caused suffering or anything like that, and take yourself out of that mentality.
Non-based.
Okay, I think it'll also really, really help. And it'll only be a win for you in your stream.
Based and true.
Yeah. I wish Steven had told me that he was feeling that way, though. I really wish he had told me.
Okay.
But I do care. It's not like I don't care. I care a lot. And I feel really
Everyone has their own
bad.
way of communicating. Like people speak in their own languages, and that's the problem with relationships, is that like everyone, especially with online relationships where people are from like different subcultures and different areas of the world and stuff, like
I said it was
from
based
different
that
states,
she needs to fucking stop talking about it. What are we doing?
people have different ways of communicating and different techniques, and it causes
Or not
lots of conflict.
Dude, RTBA, stop it. Okay, stop, dude. Dude, you need to fucking stop, dude. You need to know when to fucking quit. Okay.
Like you
How
two
could
were
she
just
casually talk
not-
about herself on like
yeah.
that? She,
Like I'm telling you, like if I was gonna set two of my friends up, I would have never set you two up. Like
Yeah.
that is just not. I would have set you up with someone that was like much
We're
more
like
like
the
emotionally
exact
complex, that likes
opposite.
communicating a lot. Like that's just not.
We are kind of the exact opposite in a lot of ways, actually. Like, our personalities are sort of direct opposites.
Cool. Then just
So,
stop.
like, just take this, live and learn. And the most productive thing, like, I know we live in a society that tells us so much to be, like, obsessed with our own. I don't know how to say this, but, like, obsessed with our own victimhood and everything that's happened to us. But in reality, that kind of mentality, unless you're dealing with it in a therapy situation, like a private one, it's
think I
not
already have that
healthy
queued
mentality.
up.
It's not going to make, like,
I do
it's
not.
not going to help you make sure that in your next relationship, this stuff doesn't happen again.
I've never had this problem before in any of my relationships.
Well, hopefully
Trust me, I don't think Destiny has either.
you never do have it. Again, hopefully this is a one-off.
But then again, I don't usually date people like him, so yeah.
I don't think Destiny
Like,
has a...
part of, like, you're in your 20s, right?
I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, a part of being, like, I find, like, a part...
Seeger tried to answer that question. Oh god, dude. I'm sorry, dude. Oh god. Ugh.
of being, like, in your 20s is, like, it's really about learning what like learning the perfect mix of what you're infatuated with like boyfriends and stuff, and what's also practical for you to be in a relationship with, because sometimes those two things, like, do not
Date?
intersect. Like, sometimes
She's
we're infatuated
28
with
though.
people
Yeah,
that are really
dated.
bad for us. Or and that we're bad for as well.
Yeah.
So, like, and I totally get it. Like, I recently had to end a toxic dynamic. And it doesn't always mean... Sometimes there isn't, like, a bad person, you know?
Yeah.
And just bad behaviors. But just in general, like, so I just want to repeat that you're committing right now that you're not going to ever talk about this again. And you're only going to talk about it with your therapist.
And friends.
Okay.
Not friends I already have, like... Not you, obviously, because you said you don't want to talk about it, so yeah.
Yeah, I would, but if you
My
talk to
close
anyone
friend,
that's
I
in the
mean.
online sphere, I would make sure that you're very close with them and that they know to keep that stuff very private, and that they're not close with Steven. I think anyone who's also good friends with Steven or just friends with Steven, like, you should just, like,
Avoid
you know?
him?
No, because that's even part of the problem, is she was approaching people that had no history with Destiny. And so they didn't really know who he was. And then, like, we're, like, the very first, like, encounter that they have with, like, him as an entity is like, oh yeah, by the way, Destiny abused me. Like, well, gee, I wonder how they're gonna view him in the future.
not avoid them, but just don't bring it up. Because you
Yeah.
have so many other things to contribute.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I don't know, like, people are assuming that, like, I somehow knew, like, who Steven's friends are and stuff, and it's like, I didn't. I don't pay attention to that shit. I never watched
Well,
his
When someone does
streams.
one thing that's wrong, right? We have a tendency to just assume that they've done, like, everything.
Was she not, like, shitting on Dan, like, pretty consistently, and Mootin and shit? And I mean, Moot just sits there. I mean, Moot is Moot, okay? Moot is just fucking Moot, okay?
Everything, you know? Like, so it just might be that. Like, you might have intentionally been trying to turn his friends against him. You might not have. I don't know.
I would not do that because I know that's abusive.
Yeah.
Like, why would I do a behavior that I know logically is, like, a...
Did she think, like, Zerka hated him? And, like, when she went on the Zerka panel, that, like, it was fair game because Zerka wasn't at all friends with him? I don't know. Did she... Like, it's weird because... Hold on.
Tendency to just assume that they've done, like, everything, you know? Like, so it just might be that. Like, you might have intentionally been trying to turn his friends against him. You might not have. I don't know.
I would not do that because I know that's abusive.
That's,
Like, why would I
that's
do a
interesting.
behavior that I know logically is, like, abusive behavior? I don't know. It's just...
Well, I'm happy that you've acknowledged that you're not that you're gonna completely talk. I know that I haven't convinced you.
Come on, Forbidden.
That what you did was abusive.
Come on.
I still think it was.
No.
But I just think that the focus really needs to be on like you moving, you know, you both being able to move on, and no one else being able to profit off of like your misery.
Yeah.
And yeah, and like Steven gets to continue and do what he does, and that makes him happy, and you get to continue growing your stream and work on your psychology. Like I forget, like you're doing your master's, I think.
Yeah.
And focus on that.
Yeah. I mean, I still want to be able to talk about the things that interest me, though, on my stream. Like, I still want to talk about things like psychological abuse.
Nope.
And the Dark Triad and stuff. Like,
yeah, sure.
I like take.
This is the issue. He'll like do MDMA, and then her stream will be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna talk about why MDMA is for losers who abuse women." And it's like, well, gee, I wonder what's happening. Okay, buddy.
I'm not gonna do it like right away. I want to wait a little bit because I don't want people
I would
to think
wait
that I'm
months
doing it like
before you engage in anything that's like that. And when you do talk about that, you
noticed,
need
like,
to make
people-
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
but when
seem to assume that I'm doing it in like a passive aggressive way, and I'm like,
Yeah, but that's
no,
what I
I'm
mean.
not.
You need to.
First off, all right, mind reader, okay? Mind reader, absolute mind reader. And second off, that's exactly what she's doing. She admitted that she does that on Twitter, okay? So I can literally prove this right now. She said earlier in this talk, she has a lot of tweets on her Twitter trying to defend herself against Destiny. But weirdly enough, guys, if you look at a lot of her tweets talking about these things,
To make sure.
I wonder, where's the Destiny at? So in one sense, she's saying she doesn't subtweet, she doesn't sneak it, she doesn't do any of this. And the next statement, she's like, oh yeah, I tweet about Destiny all the time and try and defend myself against claims of him. Okay, where's the at? Where's the at? Where's the at? I'm not seeing it. Where's the at? I'm not seeing the at. Where's the at? Where's the at?
That when you do eventually start talking, first of all, I would give it a lot of
Eris.
space, right? I agree with you about that. But when you do start talking about that, you need to make sure
Clipped and shipped
that
drama farming.
You're not, like,
Let's look. About why MDMA is for losers who abuse women. We're gonna talk.
Okay. All right, I'll let that one slide. Okay, kind of based, kind of true.
Right? Like, you need to make sure that you are honestly not talking about him. You're talking about another
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
We let that
I
one
mean,
slide.
these are just
boys.
issues that I've always cared about, like before even meeting him.
Yeah, but you need to kind of like build that cred back up.
Yeah,
So that's why I would encourage you to just not talk about it. Build people's trust back up.
Yeah. I know. I'm
and-
gonna
yeah.
avoid those topics for a little while. Yeah.
And let this stuff move on.
Yeah.
And then voila, and then you get to have your stream. And it's like, because I think it's really shitty that like people. I told you when I watched the Zerka stream, it made me sad on multiple levels because I felt like people were getting an impression of you, that was just like not entirely who you were, right?
Yeah.
And you're not just like a girl with a pretty face that's like only talking about a guy. You know, you're a very smart, accomplished person that has a lot of intelligent things to contribute. You're very enjoyable to talk to and entertaining. You have an entertaining stream, and I don't say that about a lot of people. So it's like,
I don't watch her stream. Maybe she does.
I wish that you would see. I wish you would understand the unhealthy behaviors that I feel like you engaged in, so you don't do them again. But there's only so much I can do because I'm not a professional, right? And I mean, I study history, so I know a lot about conflicts with guns. So this is a little different. So like this is the best I can do, but I just know that the end outcome is just going to be a win-win for both of you.
I think I have acknowledged like that I didn't handle things very well. I mean, I don't think it's abuse, because abuse is like a pattern. It's a pattern usually.
Yeah, but you
I did. Oh. Okay. Abuse is a pattern, but the first time that he chose to, for her words, not mine, out of the blue, just ghost me was emotionally damaging, and it was abuse. Wait, I thought abuse was a pattern. Well, you see, he did it later. So why'd you call it abuse when he did it the first time? Well, you see, it's because it was, what, like, I don't even know what she would say to that. I don't even, that's wild. That's wild, bro. That's wild.
had a pattern of messaging him when he didn't want to be messaged, right?
She'll say he did it with Bad Bunny and Ahrelevant. Oh yeah, that's probably some shit she would say, ain't it? Yeah, that's honest.
I'm not saying you didn't have good reasons in your mind, right, to do the behavior.
What do you think someone's supposed to do when they're like when they're close with someone? Because like I've literally asked therapists and they say that you should tell them how you're feeling and how their behavior is impacting you.
Not forever. Not forever though. You sure as fuck don't make that like public unless you're trying to like, I guess, play it up. Like, she agreed to make it public. I don't know why the fuck she would do that. She'd just be like, yeah, let's just keep it in private. Or, pretty simple stuff, all right? Just fucking don't talk about it. Don't talk about it, you know? If you want to talk about it, keep it in private. Run that shit. It doesn't work. Fuck it. You tried talking about it. Didn't work. Move on. Move on with your life. Ain't none of it was public. And, like, who cares?
This is what I think. With my expertise in
abuse
history,
doesn't need, yes, I agree, obviously. Abuse does not need to be repeated behavior, right? You could beat the fuck out of your fucking boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever and still have it be abuse, even though it's the very first time you have ever done something like that in your entire life, obviously. Yes, I should make that clear, man.
This is what I think you need to do when someone's kind of ignoring you and it's upsetting, right? Is you just send one message and you just say, hey, okay, I'd like to solve things, but if you need some space, I get it. Okay, if you'd like that space to be permanent, I prefer to know. But I respect it.
Lead, chill, lead. Not like this, lead.
And that's it.
That's what I kind of have said.
But it needs to be just a one message, not like 6 long paragraphs.
Okay, I mean, I don't think that's toxic behavior at all, but...
How about when he tells you to stop?
I mean, like, I'm never going to, because, like, it just isn't.
Wait, what?
I really disagree.
I mean, like, I'm never going to, because, like, it just isn't.
I really disagree. I disagree there. I don't think we're gonna make any headway.
It's literally just trying to communicate, and there's, like, you're supposed to communicate with someone.
No! Dude, how can you go through years of this shit and not fucking understand it? Alright? It's not like communicate with them, and if they refuse to communicate, you try until you're fucking dust in a grave, okay? It's like try to be able to reach out, see if you can't, get some closure, get some consensus, maybe, possibly, repair it, maybe it was just a miscommunication or some shit like that, and move the fuck on. I'm not a therapist, though. Don't take my fucking shit as whatever the fuck, but I know for one thing's for absolute fucking certain, no therapist would ever tell you, well, yeah, that person that you said is super abusive and is consistently abusing you, talking about this shit, yeah, keep talking to them. Just keep it going. Just keep talking to them. You just keep it up, man. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. You say that they're just like a piece of shit super abuser? Yeah, you know what? Just keep up. Keep it up. Maybe the 37th time it'll work out. You gotta pump up those numbers. Those are rookie fucking numbers. No therapist would ever tell you that fucking shit, dude. And you don't need a degree to fucking know that shit. That's honest.
Like, it's on the person who's doing the ignoring. That's far worse.
I mean, I totally, it depends on your value system. I think that's totally separate, right? Like, people, there can be huge consequences to someone being.
Why
like,
is she hung up
send
on
messages.
Steve? I don't fucking know. Maybe the dude's got the fucking I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Maybe he's just really good at fucking like making people feel really special and shit like that. And maybe I don't know. I don't fucking know. Maybe he's really charismatic or some shit. Maybe he's like, when he puts the charm on, he puts the charm on. I don't fucking know, dude. Right? I don't know.
Is over and over again to level that it's harassment.
Right,
Like,
yeah, I
people-
don't think like,
people can
sick
feel
is, though.
overwhelmed. They can shut themselves off from the world. Like, it's also very harmful.
Yeah, it's also really harmful to ignore.
Okay,
Really
so
harmful.
okay, but one
It's
harmful
more
thing doesn't X
personal.
out the other, right? We've acknowledged that.
Sure, I agree.
Yeah. So I think next time you're like talking to a dude or something, I definitely think try to be more concise in what you communicate, and if they do want to ignore you, you need to respect that. And if they're
No, abusive behavior is not something anyone should have to put up with or
no,
respect.
Anna, if he's ignoring you, okay, and you're not okay with the ignoring, then you just need to cut off the relationship.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I like to compromise and try and work things out. 'Cause I think
What?
people can compromise. Like, I...
No, because
You've
that's
tried
really
that
gotta
for
go
a
with
year and a half, dude. Dude, holy shit. She's gonna be fucking 39 before, like, there's any headway given. And it's just gonna be Steve retiring from fucking streaming.
What?
That's an incompatibility that you can't fix. Like, if someone doesn't,
That's
no
not
one's
true,
entitled to any communication with anyone else.
No, that's not true, though, because, like, couples therapy actually fixes this a lot.
Oh my
'Cause it's a
God,
common
you're not
thing
a
that
couple.
when people
Why
go to
the
couples-
fuck would you go to couples therapy?
Therapy, it's because they're in a very committed long-term relationship where, like, there's
Not
lots
always.
of things to lose. Yeah, almost always.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Like, wait. You think me? Wait, that's crazy. Hey, listen. Okay, you know what? It's fine. Okay.
But, like, still, any
You think people
emotional...
go to okay? Do you really think people go to couples therapy over like a Discord relationship where they've had sex once?
Sure, but I mean, like, if something is very,
Sure.
like, emotionally close and stuff, I mean...
I'm assuming she meant like.
No one goes to
saying,
couples
like-
therapy over that. People go to
I mean, I'm
because
just saying. I
people
don't think
usually
it's
just end
okay
a
to
relationship.
dismiss it.
And
I just don't think it's okay to dismiss the, like, the emotional intimacy.
All right, now we're backpedaling and pivoting.
I'm not dismissing the emotional intimacy. It's very intimate. I totally get that. But people don't go.
She knew the
like,
couples
they don't- they're not
therapy
gonna
was a
go to
loser
couples
argument.
therapy for that.
And
kind
I'll
of
go
stuff.
to couples therapy, I know.
Trust me, like, you
So
know how
why are we
often
talking
my
about
mods have
couples
had sex
therapy?
with one another, like real life sex, like on CC, like it's a lot. It's very annoying, and
Wait,
it
what?
causes a lot of problems.
Wait,
and
they're
they
mods? Is that what she said?
always want me to get them help to fix things, and I'm like, dude, just end it. Okay, not healthy.
No.
Not
Nurs 10 gifted. Sheesh.
it's not good.
Well, I think
Resist the tears. Resist the tears. Wait, Eris, were you gonna cry? Nurs, they gave you the 10 once again. Thank you.
like if both people, here's the thing though, if both people are willing to try and compromise though around each other's boundaries, because a lot of people do have conflicting boundaries, right? Like that's a thing. Like one person can have boundaries that conflict with another person's boundaries. And like, but like that doesn't necessarily mean like, whoop, sorry, I guess we gotta just
No, I
never
think you're
speak
not
again.
compatible in that case. If they're important
both
boundaries,
people.
you're not.
Why is she comparing herself to normal? I'm sorry, dude. Why is she comparing this to, like, one, a relationship, and two, like, just a normal situation between people where they have, like, a conflicting, like, boundary of, like, hey, you know what? I need 3 hours of TV time between this time and that time. Oh, well, I need TV time between 3 hours of this time and that time. Oh, really? Yeah, you know what? I really don't, you know what? I'm not really a big fan of watching football every single day. You're pretty loud. Well, it's like, really? Okay, well, I kind of need to watch football. It's pretty important in my life. Well, okay, we can compromise on that. Comparing that to like, hey, you know what? You need to message me every 24 hours.
Listen, I don't care if you're on a flight to Sweden. It's 13 hours. You got that sponsored stream, baby. You need to fucking message me every hour. And it's like, bro, we ain't even dating. We ain't even dating. Like, what? Yo, that's wild. Yo, that's wild.
Not compatible, because it just means that if one person capitulates,
She wants Melina out. She wants the ring. She wants to be the only one. This is so clear in the VODs years ago. In the VODs years ago, that's all it looked like. Every single last instance of it, that's all it looked like in the VODs years ago. But she said boundaries shouldn't be negotiable. That is super spooky behavior. Yeah, I don't know.
That's unhealthy for them.
Oh, no.
Well, it depends on the boundary, because there are certain boundaries that you have that are, like, obviously, like, non-negotiable, right? Like, for instance, I would say a boundary that I have that's non-negotiable is anybody that's, like, that I would be in a relationship with who says I can't stream, fuck you, you know? Another boundary that I could have that could be negotiable would be one where it's like, you know, I have to go, let's say... They have to be cool with me, let's say, ordering fast food 2 times a week, 3 times a week, right? And if they're like, you know what, no, I really think we should be doing, like, more healthy foods, so can we do a compromise? Maybe I'll make the food for you when you feel like doing that. I'd be like, dude, fucking based, yeah, if you're gonna make me fucking free food, I'm not gonna say no to that, right? Like, sure.
Completely disagree. I think it's healthy to, because boundaries are always supposed to be negotiable. Like, you're supposed to negotiate boundaries.
Wait, what? Not
Sure,
all of
You're
them.
supposed to negotiate boundaries.
Yeah,
I mean.
but like he had a very important boundary of like he does not do well with someone sending him a lot of messages. Okay, or he's on there, he just doesn't want to talk.
The red flags in chat, dude.
Yes. And like you can respect that.
I asked him to let
Nays.
me know when he needed space.
Yeah, exactly. In Anna's world, when a woman says no to sex, men are meant to negotiate boundaries. Yeah, exactly. Or do the meme that Destiny was talking about, where Destiny was like, hey, listen. He was talking about having sex with dudes. He's like, hey, listen. I don't want to do any butt stuff, all right? Let's get this on, all right? Let's do this. And then every single time he's being pestered the whole time, like, hey, dude, let's go a little bit further. He's like, dude, fuck off, man. You know, like, fuck off. It's like, hey, listen, you got Anna's seal of approval. Excuse me. I am horrible with speech, all right? Speech is 1 in this chat room, okay? Like, you got Anna's seal of approval there. All right, negotiate. Everything's on the table. Okay, the boundaries can be pushed, bro.
But he did let you know.
No, he would usually just stop responding and not respond at all.
That's letting you know.
No, that's ignoring a person.
Thanks,
That's
everyone.
but that's
I'm not
also
gonna watch
communicating
this.
that you need
And I'll
space.
see you in the
I'll
next
watch it.
video.
I want to be in the ethno state.
Jesus Christ.
No, ignoring isn't communicating. Like, stonewalling isn't communicating at all.
Fucking Bad Bunny clip in there.
Oh man, I don't know if we're gonna be in like this cycle over and over again.
Yeah, I guess we just disagree with this.
Yes, we'll have to agree to disagree there. Yeah, I don't know. You're gonna if you do find someone that I would encourage you to never do that kind of behavior again. But if you're very committed to doing it, then you're gonna have to find a guy that does that. And I could never date a guy that does it. That
Maybe
would
I'll
stress
just
me out.
send. Maybe I'll just send 3 messages.
No, it was the
Is 3 okay?
I
the
feel like
Professor
one of the-
Flowers
yeah,
ethno state.
like 2 sentences
2?
kind of behavior again. But if you're very committed to doing it, then you're gonna have to find a guy that does that. And I could never date a guy that does it. That
Maybe
would
I'll
stress
just
me out.
send. Maybe I'll just send 3 messages. Is 3 okay?
I feel like 1 is good. Okay, like 2 sentences.
2?
Like,
I'm
2
joking. I'm joking.
sentences. Like, be like concise. Okay, I have that problem too now. Like, this is why I don't do panels anymore, because when I go on panels, I've gotten so used to, when you're a streamer, you're so used to making everything last as long as possible, right?
Hey,
Like, you elongate everything.
true.
And now when I go
Hey,
on panels,
I watched a 2.5 hour video,
into 5 hours, doubling the time because of that pause Andy life, dude.
When I have my turn to talk, I just want to talk forever because I don't know how to. I've forgotten how to make my points like concise.
Yeah.
And it's an unfortunate thing, right? Because being able to make your points concise is very, very useful. Like, it makes your points more likely to be heard and read and respected. Because when there's a long paragraph, right, it's going to get blurred what you want in there. But if you just say, like, point blank, it hurts me, okay, that you're not talking, but I will respect it, right? Like, boom. There is no you don't need all the extra frills. Sorry. No, weird name. But you don't need all the other stuff. Like, that's a really useful skill. And on top of that, it's very useful in, like, a survival situation. So, like, yeah, being concise is very good. And I think even if you're in a relationship with someone that's, like, very empathetic and talkative and talks about their emotions all the time and ooey gooey and all that kind of stuff, like, I think it's still good to be concise in that stuff because things can get lost and overwhelmed in so many messages, and it can make some people shut down. Like, I know it would make me shut down. Yeah. Okay, so you're not going to talk about him again.
Why is she sitting there not doing? I think that chatter. Who the fuck said it earlier? Somebody in my chat was like, she's totally just pretending to listen. True. What the fuck is this?
Is it like the last hurrah?
No. Yeah, no.
Promise?
Yeah.
I'll send you $100 if you don't do it for like a year. Okay. It's a lot of money for me. Is that an unhealthy thing to do? I don't know. It's probably some toxic.
That's bribing, isn't it? Bribery or something? No, I'm joking.
I'm worried. What I'm worried about is that, like,
she literally posted the tweet afterwards. It's kind of weird.
You know, you're gonna feel good about that, and then, like, I don't know, some teacher will make one comment, and then it'll change your mind, right? And you need to, like, be strong and remind yourself, like...
Oh, Panda, thank you for gifting a sub to Eris. I didn't notice that.
You need to not do what feels good. You need to do what is good for you. Like, I'm not even asking you to do this for him.
God, it's so difficult. Like, it is so difficult. And, like, even my friends know that, like, because, like, part of it is also, like, oh my God, it's so difficult. Like, when I see people being like, oh, look, that's like, oh, you abused Destiny. Like, and then I'm just like, I don't want to respond.
I know that shit, it hurts, so right? It sucks. But I'm telling you, it is going to be the less you feed it, it's like a monster, right? Like, the less you feed it, the less people are going to talk about it. Like, people are going to talk about it after the stream. They're probably going to talk about it for another 2 weeks, right? You just got to push through the next 2 weeks, okay? And then...
You know what's funny? I wouldn't have. Dude, I was so done with half of this fucking shit. Not too long ago, I was fucking done with this shit. But every time, dude, she shows up somewhere else. That's the issue. I was ready to be done with this fucking 48 hours after she was on that fucking panel. But then she keeps showing up, or she keeps talking about it. It's fucking crazy.
It's gonna boom. Like, it's
Sorry,
gonna
I don't mean to say she's crazy, because I don't want to fucking have her, like, freak out and then feel like she needs to defend herself. But it's wild.
Like, drop off.
This is what I mean.
And then it's gonna go smaller,
like getting
and
out of
smaller
hand.
and smaller over time. And you just need to not take the bait, and eventually it'll just be one of your, like, every streamer has, like, hiccups, okay? Like, I still have shit that people say that's, like, random stuff that's just not true. Yeah. Some stuff that is true, okay? Like, every streamer has that shit, but the goal is you just don't want it currently in the news.
I do want to say
I see
one
that
thing,
shit, the Waffles.
Let me think how to say this. The stuff with Waffles.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear it.
There is so much to unpack with that. And I don't feel that it was accurate at all.
Yeah, I saw she released I guess one of her friends released some kind of like Waffles Gate document.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've talked to him already. It's a really messy situation. I don't know. It sucks. But I can't address that really because it would involve like leaking DMs and like private shit, and it's just such a fucking messy situation. I don't even know. But I will say one thing. I did see this I can address. I did see cuz like people sent me like cuz like I had no idea. Like I thought we were still friends and stuff.
Chat context for
And
the
like
stream
then people sent
chat?
me that like
For the
what you
stream
said.
chat. Wait, chat context for the stream chat. What the fuck does that mean? Waffles, the blonde girl that plays piano, not Giant Waffle, the guy accused of sexual stuff. The damage control, dude. I'm sorry, the damage control is very funny there. Oh god, I'm sorry. My situation with her wasn't mentioned. Anytime I would bring it up, she wouldn't change and ignored when I said I wanted to stop being friends. Makes sense. This whole thing is an infinite loop. Am I reading the wrong way? Okay, no, I'm not. I didn't dox her. She just doxed me, then got
100.
mad. I
And
was
this
upset with
is
her.
when he passed out from laughing.
Stop. She said she was the victim in doxing me because she was a victim of technology. Do we have do I have logs for that, or like a stream of that or some shit? I think I remember something like this, like being cataloged. I'm not talking about the doxing. I'm talking about the response to the doxing, like people talking about it.
And I saw
They
the
get
one
to
thing.
it in the combo?
She said
Okay.
that I doxed her twice. I'd like to correct that and say that the doxing was okay. So everybody who's watched my streams knows how much of a fucking boomer I am, and that I.
Oh no! So she doxed somebody because she's a boomer with private information, and then she made Cherry give her Cherry's private information in order to get out of a false DMCA claim that she knows is false. And then has the authority to criticize Steven for being afraid that he might leak her nudes. And say that he's a piece of shit because he might leak her nudes, but she forced another woman to give her their personal info when she has a history of being a boomer and leaking personal information.
I've like doxed myself at least like 50 times by accident.
Wait, did she do it? She didn't do it to Cherry. She DMCA claimed Cherry, and then Cherry had to give her Cherry's personal information. So let's hope Anna doesn't pull a Waffles with this personal information.
I've been so bad with OBS. I'm so bad with OBS. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's really bad. I mean, but I've gotten better. Like, I finally learned after nearly like a year and a half of streaming. Like, I finally haven't like doxed myself or like my poor friends. It's so bad. By accident anymore. Cause like I kind of learned how to use it better. But anyway, yeah, it was I had our Discord DMs open. Me and Waffles Discord DMs. open on Discord while I was streaming, and I was trying to do like a window capture, and I accidentally like. Yeah, it was an accident. I was like, it accidentally showed the DMs, and I was like, oh my fucking oh shit, and like I did that 2 times, and I never did it again because then I learned how to better like not.
Yeah, it's a pretty severe accident though. Like,
yeah,
that's
I know.
an accident that could like get someone killed or something. You know.
RTB.
I know. I felt so bad. Oh my god. So bad.
Yeah, I totally understand her being upset about that because, like, even if it's an accident, it's still like,
yeah, it's so
you
scary.
should have still been careful.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh god.
That's why I took time to go do preventative measures so that never happened again. Basically,
I already saw this clip.
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
That's good. I mean, that probably really sucks. Like, I don't even know where to start with the Waffles thing. She seems to think that you engaged also like in manipulative and abusive behavior, but I feel like that's a whole other thing to unpack, and I don't know enough about that situation to comment one way or another.
I don't know how to begin addressing it either, so
yeah, and I'm sure it's tough having this stuff public, but I'm kind of relieved. I'm trying to take it with a grain of salt though, because I really want you to commit this time to not bring up the Destiny stuff, and I'm just worried that when you have a change.
Eris, out of curiosity, were you just having a moment where you didn't know the people who, or didn't remember the people who she had DM'd and messaged, or were you doing the thing that like you weren't sure who you should say that she's DM'd and messaged because you weren't sure what was confidential information or what have you? Because when that happened, I didn't know what was happening, what was going on, what have you. The latter? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I assumed.
Are you feeling like emotional in a vulnerable moment?
Bring Eris on.
Like
Eris can be on.
And then the cycle just starts.
They want to be on
again.
But...
You know.
The only times I would ever like always the thing that would like set me off and like I would feel like, oh my god, I have to tweet something now because people think this about me. Like it was always like if I see like people saying these things about me and stuff and like talking about this shit, so like I'm just hoping it'll die down and stuff. I mean, I have to resist it anyway, but resist the temptation.
Yeah. And I genuinely don't think like you talking about it, I don't think it helps. So like I know you have this need to defend yourself, but I'm telling you what's gonna be practical is it's just not talking about it ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
So next time only one message.
Yeah, I'll try for 1 or 2.
Right, and respect when people block you.
Yikes!
I've never had a problem with that before. That's the thing. It's not really about the blocking. It's about the leaking DMs, but
his methtasty. How do you pronounce that? Destiny.
Methstiny.
Intelligence brought it out in you. You know. I don't know. Sometimes they're just people that bring
over-identified. I get the same thing,
right? And it's not necessarily their fault. It's just an incompatibility.
Yeah,
it's just important to not make it a pattern, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially that you weren't happy either.
Yeah. God, that whole fucking incident. Like, I was so worried about. Oh my god, I was so worried about him that I like looked up like articles of research on like MDMA to try and like see that if I could convince him to like not do MDMA anymore.
Wait, is she admitting it? That like her streams and her fucking tweets subtweeting it? Like, okay, all right, cool.
I was like, holy fucking shit. He's like, did meth. Oh my god.
All the way, Eris, I'm not sure if you picked up on it, but she said it earlier, and I haven't gotten 100% verification, but I swear this was the case, right? At one point, Destiny had, I'm not sure it was even just one, I'm pretty sure it was multiple times, Destiny had said that Anna constantly talks about him, but she subtweets him. So when he does MDMA, she'll just happen to post about MDMA and why you're like a degenerate if you do it and shit like this. And like people run with it and shit like this. And then she said, what I remember was like, no, I don't talk about you. But in this conversation with you, she said like a lot of her Twitter posts are defending herself away from Destiny. And then she also denies subtweeting later, like subtweeting or like sneak dissing and shit like that, Destiny, which is really weird because all of these statements can't be true. Because if you look at her, including this MDMA statement, if you look at her tweets, a lot of them don't at Destiny, and they talk about things that he is doing conveniently at a similar time that he is doing it. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I think you tweeting about that was bad.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. How are you
Drama
gonna fill
farming?
your Twitter
What is this again? You're gonna get your usage out of this clip? Is it gonna load? Hello? There it is. We're gonna talk about why MDMA is for losers who abuse women.
Stop, dude. Stop. Okay.
Talk about him.
Alright.
I mean, I tweet about a lot of other things, so I don't know. Like, it'll be easy.
You should. My two favorite parts of Twitter is Jewish Twitter and trans Twitter.
Wait, RTPA, why would you post these emotes?
They're both very toxic and enjoyable. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Go to that.
What is Jewish Twitter?
True. Psychology Twitter is pretty good.
Okay, so if you don't talk about him again, like ever again, for 1 year, right now, I make a commitment publicly. I will send you $100 USD, not Canadian.
Don't go to Jewish
Sephora
Twitter.
gift card.
Oh my god, no, you don't have to do that.
Okay, and then you can buy, I don't know, like, you're very good at doing your makeup, so like, you could buy something else.
I do like makeup.
Yeah.
But no, you don't have to do that at all. It's fine.
No, it's like, I need to be held to something. I need to be held to something. Because it's good for both of you.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. It got a bit testy at times.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm happy that we spoke. Because
Yeah.
I was debating back and forth whether it was responsible. I actually got
Did you
a lot
see
of
this?
hate for doing this.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I understand the criticisms, right? But I don't know. I felt like it was important. I had to say the things that I need to say.
Yeah.
So,
We disagree
yeah.
on some things, but like it's okay.
Yeah.
I think we still agreed on more stuff.
What the fuck?
Well, yeah, at the core, like, the thing that you it's not like we're on different pages on what's best for you, right? And best for him. Like, you know what's good for you. And what's good for your stream and good for your career and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Anna, for coming. And yeah, goodbye to talking about the situation publicly for you. Like, I'm excited for your future, and hopefully, you never have to go through this stuff again, and he doesn't have to go through that again. And you both can be happy.
Yeah. I hope so.
Okay.
Well, thank you for having me on and talking to me.
Bye. See ya, Anna.
Bye. Bye.